Hi everyone, welcome to the Gassy Boys podcast. My name was previously Naoto Shirodane, now I'm the Electric Hobo. Naoto Shirodane is fucking stupid, it's dead, the Electric Hobo has risen. Welcome to the Electric Zone. That's fucking dumb, I'm never gonna say that again in my fucking life. Fuck!
Fuck Naoto, dude. Naoto fucking sucks. I hated that guy. Lightning
Me
Hobo,
too!
though. Electric Hobo.
Yeah, Lightning Hobo, Electric Hobo, it's the same thing, you know.
I would mess with a guy named Electric Hobo.
Yeah,
You know
bro.
what that means? You know the... Can you fucking comprehend the implications of an electric hobo? That guy comes at you fast, and he's a hobo.
It's fucking endless. That's the other thing. Electricity, fucking lightning, it's limitless energy. It's always going on. It's never gonna stop. It's fucking amazing. Anyways, joining me today is the one and only
Man mode. I'm
Yeah.
man mode.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
I have this fucking like minute long intro and you're just like, yeah, I'm man mode. For people coming from Memo's channel who don't know who I am, I just finished up this crazy 30-day challenge where I made like 47 videos in a month, and it was crazy. It was fun. They're all terrible, but some of them have their moments.
Yeah, there are two.
There are better videos coming in the future. Don't worry. Subscribe to find out when those are coming.
Terrible, I think.
Yeah, well,
I
fuck
wouldn't
you.
watch them. If I was you, I would click away. I would just watch this podcast for me
Yeah,
and then never subscribe.
I don't disagree. Anyways, tell the crowd
Actually,
about yourself.
subscribe if you want to watch Electric Hobo.
Yeah,
Because you're not going to find a channel named Electric Hobo ever again.
yeah, exactly. You know, I have a funny story about that. Before we continue, before I decided to commit on the Electric Hobo thing, I decided just to double down and do a quick Google search just to make sure there was no one else named the Electric Hobo, right? And
Of course.
I discovered a very interesting experimental punk band named the Electric Hobo. They have like 7 albums. It's very hard to listen to. It's very extreme punk. Like experimental punk. It's very weird, but I just thought that was really interesting.
I mean, you can just admit it's your band.
Yeah, it's my band. I'd probably
It's your high school project.
if I made music, that would probably be what I would make. Like really out there weird shit that's barely even audible.
Look, no one fucking cares about the Electric Hobo bands. Those guys are just a bunch
Yeah.
of losers.
I think it's
They can
one
just
guy.
call themselves hobos.
Yeah, exactly. They're
Nothing electric about them.
Mhm.
You, though, you're
Oh, yeah.
the Electric Hobo.
The Electric Hobo, the one and only.
I make fucking anime videos. Sometimes they're funny. I
Sometimes.
put a lot of effort into them. Go watch my fucking Kill la Kill video, bitch.
Yeah, actually, please do that.
I worked on that for like 2 months. No one is watching it.
See, unlike me, where I have like 47 videos in the last month that sometimes are good and have little gems of quality in them, but it's mostly garbage. Men Mode has like how many fucking videos is it? Like 10? I don't fucking remember.
Yeah.
You got
I don't know, something like that.
you got like 10 videos that are fucking awesome. Like every one of them is great. Like maybe not every one of them, but in general, the quality is your standards are much higher than mine. Is my point.
Look, you don't need to kiss my ass, okay?
I know.
If we come on an anime that you think is great and I think it's bad, I'm not going to go easy on you, okay?
Oh, yeah, of
I'm
course.
going to judge you. I'm going to call you out on that.
Oh,
Why
dude.
the fuck would you like fucking Blend S?
Oh my
Why the fuck would
fucking
you like
god!
that show?
Oh, let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Today,
let's go.
this fucking podcast, this fucking episode, this first inaugural episode, we're doing every single show that came out this season. No short shows and no second seasons, just the new shit that came out. So, starting things off, Blend S is coming up. We'll fucking fight over that. Starting things off is Anime-Gataris, I guess. I think this show was okay, maybe.
You gotta tell people what the show is all about.
Fuck! So this show, it's about this girl who, like, this is like a moe, like, club kind of show. about like an anime club. The main girl, the main character girl, she's got this anime in her head. We've all been here. She's got this anime in her head that she can't like remember. She can't remember what it is, but it's very like important to her that she remembers. It's like very influential to her, but the only way she can think to possibly like figure out what this anime is to join this anime club kind of. This isn't exactly how the episode goes, but it's the best way to sell it. So yeah, that's why she's in this anime club, even though she knows like jack shit about anime. And that's the best part of the show. Getting right into it.
There is a little bit more going on in
Sure.
this. I think there are some supernatural stuff
Really?
in there. Yeah. With the teddy bear or whatever.
Oh yeah, the cat, the talking cat.
Oh, it's a cat. I forgot. This is one of the shows I completely fucking forgot about.
I don't blame you.
The first one I watched.
I watched it today and I forgot about it.
It's very not memorable. I'm going to say that.
That's my problem with it. Yeah, like I think it's got some funny moments, but like, and I love the anime references. It's constantly pulling out like anime references, like all the time.
I think that's very shitty.
But
that's references in general are a very like simple and like it's a cheap way of getting people invested, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Let's
not
just throw fucking anime that came out last year. So
yeah,
people will think it's funny.
That was the weird part. It was like they made a big deal about like referencing like ReZero, and I was like, that's kind of
zero.
Yeah, it's like that's kind of old at this point. I mean, but you know what was interesting about that though is that I don't exactly see a lot of anime doing the level of anime references per second that this show is doing.
Yeah.
That's all I mean by that. Yeah, it's not exactly I don't think that's like a very praiseworthy thing, but it was cool every 5 seconds to get into anime references. But yeah, overall this show is pretty meh. Let's move on.
The first half was kind of boring, but
yes.
I think it got better in the second half.
You know what? You're right.
I don't think it's bad. It's
not.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like,
if you just want to like sit and melt a little bit like into your chair, it might be okay.
Yeah.
But there are better shows this season for that, so yeah.
The comedy didn't impress me very much.
Yeah, it wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That and when you do a fucking what is it? Club activities show.
Like a club show, yeah.
Yeah. You either have to have very good slice of life moments that are relatable and either like develop the characters, or you have to have good comedy. And I don't think this one exceeded in any of those.
Yeah.
But I think it wasn't bad overall.
Yeah, it wasn't offensive, but it wasn't memorable, so yeah.
I like the designs though.
Me too.
The characters look good.
Yeah, they look decent. But I don't like their uniforms. They're pink and they're weird. I don't know. Anyways.
What are you, fucking Digibro?
Yeah.
You pay attention to the fucking uniforms.
I fucking love the uniforms. Like a good show with great uniforms and like uniforms and costumes and outfits and stuff. It just adds so much. Fuck off.
I mean, okay.
The next show is Black Clover. I think this was the first show I watched this season. I dropped it after one episode. I don't know. I finished the episode.
Oh god. I just remembered.
Yeah?
This one has the most annoying.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He is. I can't even properly describe how obnoxious this guy's voice is.
I know it's like a Japan thing to like scream at the end of the sentence.
It's too much.
This guy doesn't scream at the end of the sentence. He screams every second word he says.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it'd be one thing if every character was screaming. No, he's the only one. Everyone else is talking normal. He's fucking screaming constantly, and I don't understand.
His scream is the most annoying scream I've ever heard.
Holy shit! Oh my god, it's so annoying. It's the way he like raises his voice at the end of every sentence. It's like in pitch a little bit. It'd be like if I talked constantly like this all the fucking time, right? Like,
exactly.
Oh my god, it's infuriating.
Exactly. I mean, I wish I could scream, but there are people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm in a basement, so no one can hear me. You know, it's sad too because I think besides that, this actually is a sort of interesting show with some cool things. It's decent for a shonen thing, but it's not very memorable. And the fact that it has the most obnoxious main protagonist ever, just kind
But
of,
Hobo,
oh my god.
what is this show all about?
Oh yeah, it's about this fucking normie ass like shonen character who's born into a world.
Basic ass shonen protagonist.
Yeah, the most basic of the basics. So
He has no powers.
yeah, he's born into a world with like where everyone has like magic abilities and he doesn't have any. But we find out at the end of the episode that he just has the best powers, the secret powers. Oh no, that's pretty much it.
I mean, like with Boku no Hero, we had this whole
Oh my
like
god,
introduction
yeah,
arc
this is
where he
Boku no
had to
Hero done
train.
poorly. Yeah,
Yeah, he had to train, and in the end, he earned that ability.
it's so endearing.
In
That's the best part of
yeah,
Boku no Hero.
in the first episode of Black Clover, the main protagonist pretty much gets the most overpowered ability.
Yeah,
Right? He from the very beginning, he doesn't need to train. He doesn't need to like build himself up. He just gets the most powerful fucking magic.
yeah, it's very unsatisfying. Uh, I don't know. And his brother was like he also kind of pissed me off because he had no like defining characteristic. One second he would be like, you know, edgy and fucking moaning or whatever, and the next second he'd like suddenly care about people. And I just didn't get
Yeah,
him. I don't
that's
know.
what I hated about him. He's not a person.
Yeah,
He's a character. He's a gimmick character.
that's true.
He's the older brother who will inspire him throughout the journey. I mean,
Yeah,
they will inspire each other, but he doesn't. He's not like a guy. He's not a person. He's just a character who is there to fulfill his role.
yeah. I have a feeling this
And
show's gonna be like 50 episodes, and no one's gonna like it by the time it's over.
the first season has 12.
Is
But
is it
yeah,
confirmed for 12? You're right. It's 13. Yeah, yeah. Well, when I initially
13.
watched it, it was, you know, no one knew, but I guess they announced it
But it's
later.
going to be a long show. This is like one of the
Yeah,
popular manga.
it is, I
Shonen manga.
guess. Yeah. Ugh, what are the kids doing these days, man? They're ruining all our anime. Anyways.
Did you notice that awful change CGI?
Oh my god, that's right.
That was that
Handshakers.
was
It reminded
yeah,
me of
handshakers.
Handshakers.
Exactly. It has handshakers change
You know
CGI.
what? You know what? I'm one of those guys who think that as bad as Handshakers is, I think it's one of the most interesting bad shows I've ever seen, and it had me on the edge of my seat the entire time throughout the
I
first
didn't even
episode.
watch that one.
Oh my god,
I heard it's
Handshakers.
just a meme, and I didn't watch it.
Handshakers is an experience. I would recommend people watch it just to experience for themselves. Because it is really bad, but it is both hilariously and like unbelievably bad. Like you'll laugh at certain points, but then other times you'll be like, "How did someone create this and think it's good?" Like it's
But
incredible. But anyways, that's
from
not
what I've
Black
seen,
Clover.
yeah. Okay, I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah,
I was just going to say,
the chain thing.
uh,
Yeah.
I was just going to say that Handshakers looks interesting, but
Yes,
it's too ambitious for its own good.
exactly. Yeah, that's the big thing. Okay, time for the first big fight.
I
Blend
don't know if
S.
it's going to be a fight. Maybe I was just
Oh,
fucking
maybe,
deceiving you.
maybe. Blend S. This is a great show. I fucking
I,
love this show.
yeah, I liked it.
I don't think it's my favorite of the season, but
It's very trashy.
it is.
Okay?
But it is so. It owns its trashiness
Yeah.
perfectly. It is aware that it's trashy, and I think the biggest thing, the most important thing about this show, is that it's an A1 picture show. What the fuck? Like, it's beautiful, first off. The animation is, like, perfect. The character designs are amazing. Like, there's no, like, there's not that many, like, shitty backgrounds or anything that, you know, the A1 bullshit that we're all sick of. It looks really good for an A1 picture show. So, like, that's surprising. There is
But
a fucking character. There's a moment in this show that I was like, what the fuck is happening at A1? There is a character who is a college student, who is a, like, lolly girl.
yeah,
And she has this moment where you find out that she's like a, you know, like a hard ass lolly girl. She just like looks like she's like 12. But in this restaurant that the characters work at, they all put on like a gimmick for the customers. It's like a shitty maid cafe, but it's more cutesy.
yeah.
Um,
this is the premise of the show.
Yeah, this is
It's
basically what
about
it is. And it's
a bunch of college girls getting a job at this cafe,
Mhm.
and every girl has her own gimmick.
yeah.
One of them is sadistic, one of them is tsundere, one is like a emoto character.
Yeah, and there's more to come, I assume.
Yeah.
That we see in like the OP. But anyways, this
Oh my
fucking lolly
God.
girl.
Yeah.
Oh my
the
god.
opening is so good.
She puts on so she's like very hard ass. She reminds me of the girl from oh my god, there was this moe show from like a couple years ago. Sometime in 2016, like early 2016. Whatever. She's like the hard ass lolly girl, but when she puts on her persona, she turns into like the little sister girl. And it fucking gave me instant flashbacks to Arrow Manga Sensei. And then it all hit me. It all hit me. A1 Pictures, holy fuck, they hated Arrow Manga as much as all of us like also did. And this is their way. This is their way of being like, I'm sorry, anime world, for making Arrow Manga Sensei. Here's something to make up for it. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but like that's just like the way it hit me. I was like, holy shit.
Like when I watched this and I realized it's A1 Pictures, I just got that feeling that A1 is doing it fucking again. They have this money hungry look. They know what nerds want, so they just pander to them. And this is exactly it. And to us, like, yeah, we find it funny, but they're doing it fucking again. They're robbing us of our time. A1 Pictures. Fucking bastards. They're genius.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Want.
Like, this is great because it is purposely pandering to every single, like, otaku culture bullshit thing, but it is doing it in the most hilarious way possible. It's
at least that. It's funny.
Like, it is so funny. Holy shit, it's so fucking funny.
Did you see those giant cat balls in the first episode?
Yes! Oh my god, I forgot about those!
Oh my god, they're huge.
They're huge! Holy shit, that's right. Oh my gosh, dude. My only concern with this show is that I think its gimmick could run out quick.
That's one of the main concerns I have with it.
Yeah.
It's going to get old, I think.
Because I watched the second episode too, and that was just as funny, if not funnier. And I'm hoping that if they keep adding characters and the dynamic between those characters keeps getting more interesting, then it'll continue to stay good, but for 12 episodes, I don't know. That's a lot.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a show that I can see like having good character moments.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's just the gimmick.
I mean, I like the characters. I really do. Like, the main girl, specifically, I think she's really strong. Like, I like that she's this girl who's working at this place. She has, like,
I love that.
She has a goal in life. She wants to go, like, abroad and be, like, a... She has, like, an image in her mind of what she wants to be, and that's why she's working so hard. Yeah, it's great.
She's just a girl, and she's like, I have to get a job. I have to do this.
Yeah.
I will take any job.
She's very relatable to me. Like, I see myself very clearly in this girl of, like, something you have to do, something you want to do, but you have to work a shitty job in order to afford it. Her job is fun, though, so...
They just look way too young to take them seriously for me.
That's also... Yeah, I can see that. These girls are super moe.
But yeah. I like mostly I like the jokes.
Yes, it is extremely funny.
That's the whole appeal of the show. They have interesting reactions, and it's funny. That's it. That's the from the aside from the very beginning, like the girl trying to get a job and all that.
Yeah,
immediately switches into this cafe. And their gimmicks.
Yeah.
And the show is going to be just that, I think.
Probably.
And the novelty of the joke is going to wear off soon, I think.
Yeah, like this show I think is very comparable to what's that one? Working? Also by A1 Pictures. It's Working is like a similar kind of like comedy restaurant kind of thing, but Working is shit. It looks like garbage. None of the jokes are that funny, and it went on forever. If this is just content with being a concluded story after like 12 episodes, I think it could be really good. But A1 doesn't have a good history of that, so yeah, it's gonna end like the same way it begins. There's gonna be like no development for anything. So yeah, I agree.
Fuck the soundtrack though.
Really?
It's fucking horrible. Didn't you hear that fucking wooden Umaru flute in the second episode? It was garbage.
I don't think I noticed. I think I know what you're talking about. I didn't hate it, but I could believe it if it
Oh,
was that
it
bad.
hurt my. It physically hurt me. It hurt my ears, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the soundtrack is garbage.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. It's kind of trashy, but I like it.
Me too. Me too. All right, up next, Boku no Konojo ga Majime Suge. It's the fucking bitch one. The
Okay, my girlfriend
What
is
is
a
it?
virgin who takes being slutty too seriously.
That's the
English
show.
name. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Where the fuck
Yeah,
is it?
that's the English name.
You're right. My girlfriend is a Sho-Bitch. Yeah. That's the other. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Um, I think this show is okay. It's right in the middle. I have a lot of things I love about it, but like the basic shit, like the animation and stuff, is trash. Like,
I didn't like this one at all.
really? Oh, is that
Yeah.
so? I think it's a little pandering, and that's like something I didn't like. But I really appreciate that the show just starts off with the main character confessing to the main girl, and the girl's like, "Yeah, okay, I'm down with this." And I love that the main girl just the only thing she understands about relationships is like sex. Like that's completely the only. She's not obsessed with it, but that's like what she perceives relationships as, because she's fucking like she has like Down syndrome or something. Like she's fucking like she's weird,
She's
man.
dumb.
Yeah, she's really dumb. But I kind of like that because at least the two main characters in the relationship
Look,
are
let's just
trying
think-
to be they're trying to progress as a relationship. Everything else in this show is terrible.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
yeah, there's almost nothing else. That's the premise. I described it. Like that's all it is. It's a bunch of
Yeah.
sex jokes.
It's a girl who doesn't know anything about relationships and sex,
Mm-hmm.
and she gets into a relationship in the first few minutes.
Yep.
Uh, and that's the show.
Yep. Pretty much.
Look, I'm a huge advocate for slut lives matter.
Yeah.
I can appreciate how much she wants to do for the guy.
Mm-hmm. But she's not actually a slut, and I think that actually is what kind of like brings it down a little bit. I would
She
actually
comes off as slutty, and
Yeah.
she comes off as being slutty. I think.
see.
I know what you mean.
It's
but
not quite there though.
gimmick
Be- yeah.
is that she's a slut.
Yeah.
I know
exactly.
she's actually not.
Yeah.
She's just fucking
But I wish she was.
the word.
You know. She's I don't know. She's just obsessed with sex in a really interesting way, I guess. But yeah, it's not great. I think the show would be better if it was like a 12-minute show. Like that was I hated sitting through the whole 24 minutes of it. Like that was the worst part of it to me. Like if it was just short and sweet at like 12 minutes or even shorter, like 5 minutes or something, then that'd be different. Cut out all of the other like side character bullshit that I don't care about. Just focus on the two main people. They're the most interesting characters, and that'd be a different story. But yeah,
Yeah. I also hated the protagonist.
yeah, he was
He's
very
just like a fucking
yeah, he was whatever.
generic beta guy.
I think it'd
He's
be
very bland.
yeah, I think it'd be more interesting if he was actually hypersexual. Like if he was actually like into like all the things that she thought she was going to be getting into.
Yeah,
and
that
she-
would be way more interesting.
and
but
she had to like
of
get
course
comfortable with it.
can't happen.
Yeah.
I don't know why anime can't do that. Like where both the girl and the guy are into same shit,
Yeah.
and they just fucking explore that. I think that would be
Yes.
way more interesting.
I agree. All right, what's next? There's a bunch of second seasons. Oh yeah, this show. Code Realize.
Don't realize. Such a fucking garbage name.
I know.
first of
So,
all.
funny story about this. I've actually played this visual novel. I own the platinum trophy in it.
Oh, it's a visual novel. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't pay attention to the story. I don't know. It had pretty art, and I wanted a platinum trophy because I was a big trophy whore. Back before PlayStation banned me. That's a different story, though. So I'm pretty familiar with this. And I actually, in general, I kind of like this, but not enough to keep watching it because it's got too much. So let's start with the premise. This show is about this girl who the world of this show is awesome. It's about this girl who's like got this poison in her body where she like destroys everything she touches if it touches her skin. It's like a steampunk kind of thing. The aesthetic is fucking wonderful. Like I love the character designs. They don't look as good in the show as they do in the game. But like they still look pretty decent. The animation isn't great, but like the world of the show is really cool, and they don't explore it enough in the first episode because like that was my favorite part of the visual novel.
Yeah, I don't know anything like.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about the world. To me, it just seems like a generic world,
Yeah.
like with a little bit of steampunk in it.
Yeah. Like that was my favorite part. That it was very steampunk in the visual novel. This just kind of seemed like very casual England, like not
Yeah.
like not too special, but it is special. They just haven't got into it, I guess, yet. But that's I guess that's just poor directing or something. But I don't know. The problem with
I
this
didn't like it.
is that the fucking writing was terrible. Like
Yeah, writing was fucking awful.
the characters just everything they said was the most obnoxious way to say everything they were saying. Like oh my gosh, like none of the people I think the first part of the show was pretty decent, like with the train robbery, or not the train robbery, like when the
That was
soldiers
great.
the soldiers take the main girl and they put her in a caravan, and the main guy like surprises the caravan and they rob the girl from the caravan by knocking all the guards out with smoke gas. That was fun. When they get into like the fucking mansion, that was everything past that was pretty bad. So
I
because
only like 2 or 3 things about it. I
yeah,
like the fashion.
yes,
I think the costumes look very pretty,
yeah,
especially the main girl. Like,
yes,
there's a reason why she wasn't animated
yeah.
that much, because her dress is like very intricate.
It's
And
very
just
intricate.
hard
Well,
to animate.
that's one of my favorite things about like visual novel designs. I love that they'll go so far out of their way to make them look as intricate as possible because they know you're going to be staring at them for like 40
Yeah,
hours.
and it's not going to move.
Yeah. And like I said, they don't even actually look as good in the anime as they do in the game. But whatever. What's sad about this show is that I've been looking for a like good reverse harem show like this that
That's why I dropped it. That's exactly why I dropped it.
cuz
There are too many pretty boys in it.
I
I can't handle that.
I really want to appreciate shows like this because these are clearly popular. These kind of like visual novel or like I don't know, these game adaptation like reverse harem kind of things where there's a bunch of dudes. And all of the shows they're in that involve these kind of situations are fucking awful, especially this season. There's a specifically like large amount of shows like this season. And they're all terrible. I actually think this is the best one, and that's saying something because this one's still pretty damn bad.
I didn't watch the other ones.
Yeah, I don't
I
blame
just
you.
saw the cover picture and dropped them.
They're not worth
I
it.
did not even I didn't even give them a chance.
This is the best one. You're not missing out on much. It's really sad to me because I think it's an interesting concept. I mean, you watch something like what's the one with the or on High School Host Club. You watch something like that, and that's interesting. But even that's not even what I'm talking about. But whatever. I don't know how to even describe this perfectly.
Look, a bunch of pretty boys
But
and one girl just turns me off. It's
sure.
not my thing. I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah, it's not
I
my
don't
thing
care.
either. But I'm so curious because I'm like, how is this interesting? Because it's the same thing if it was the reverse. If it's like normal harem shows, I think are pretty dumb usually.
I prefer normal harem.
But
over
yeah,
this.
I would prefer a normal harem because at least I usually get some pretty interesting fan service. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about that one.
I only watched the first episode though. I
Me
think I'll
too.
watch the second one to see what's going on.
I don't know.
Because I don't know the story.
It's
Because like from the first episode, it gave me this reverse harem vibe
Mhm.
that I didn't like. But I was thinking maybe the story evolves differently.
There
So
is something
actually
to it.
isn't a reverse harem. Maybe it's just a straight romance.
It kind of is.
Because-
Yeah. I mean,
From the first episode, it just gave me the impression that like the main character and the girl
yeah.
are the only ones that are like into each. I mean, the other guys were hitting on the girl, but
Sure. Well, that's the way they're
didn't
gonna
seem
do
like-
it. So in the visual novel, you go down the path of every guy, until you get to the main guy. Like you have to do all the other side bitches before you get to the main dude.
Oh, okay.
So in this, I think they're just gonna skip all the side guys and just go right for the main guy storyline, which
Okay.
could be interesting. And from what I remember, it's been a very long time since I played the game, but like from what I remember, the story is cool. Lots of like backstabbing and fucking cool espionage shit.
Okay.
So maybe that's interesting, but I'm not sure it's worth getting through the terrible fucking dialogue of this show. So yeah.
For me, the only
Yeah.
two appeals were like, it looks pretty,
Hmm.
the dresses and the fashion,
Yeah.
and the main girl is like gorgeous. Holy shit,
Yeah.
like
She's
really pretty.
she's actually my problem with the main girl is that she's still kind of uninteresting though, because I mean she's the protagonist in the game, so she's pretty silent. Like she talks, but she doesn't talk that much. But I
Yeah,
expected them to give her a bit more of a personality, but she's just very quiet, very accepting of what's happening. I don't know. I didn't really like that much. I was hoping they would give her a bit more. But whatever. I think we've talked about.
my conclusion was
Yeah.
that I will watch the second episode,
Sure.
and if it's just a romance, which I don't know anything about this, like
Mm-hmm.
you read the visual novels, I don't know anything,
Yeah.
and if it's just a romance with some espionage shit and it has a cool story, I will continue. But
Okay.
uh, aside from that, it doesn't have much.
Sure. Yeah, I'd be curious if it's better. Yeah. So moving on. Uh, have you determined this next one is DS Irai is
I don't know, and I don't care. I
dis
only watched half.
is it supposed to be like a play on words with like disarray? Like
Oh,
I that's what I thought maybe, but I don't fucking know. This show sucks.
look, it's disarray. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks.
This
I only watched half of the
I
episode.
couldn't. I watched. So I opened up Crunchyroll and I noticed they have like episode 0 and episode 1, and I was like, what the fuck? What is this? So I watched like two
The
seconds
only
of episode 0 and it sucked, and I moved on to episode 1 and it
I don't
sucked
think
even harder.
I don't think we can even like explain what the show is all about.
I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, it's
It's a
look,
mess.
the episode starts off with a giant golden floating like
That's right.
castle island thing.
That's right. It
And that
does.
was the coolest part of the show.
Yeah.
That looked
It reminded
cool.
me of Castlevania. Like the music and like the way the guy was walking and like the giant cool castle golden thing.
Yeah,
It just
it just gave me a good vibe from the beginning.
yeah.
But then it continues, and there are a bunch of fights between the characters we know nothing about. The
Yeah.
character designs look awful, the animation is bad, and you don't know what's going on for the whole episode. I only watched half, but I
I
mean that's kind of hypocritical.
I
of me to
think
say.
I almost fell asleep like while I was watching this. I was like so there was so much shit going on
I was
screen.
so bored.
I was like, what is happening? I just had to turn it off because
Which is weird because there is a lot of action.
yeah, it's very
It's
odd.
weird. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we can really say anything else about it because like I don't fucking remember it.
It was cutting from scene to scene so fast with people that you don't know anything about.
Yeah, and it kept
And
it
all
kept
of it
showing
looked
these
like
time
shit.
cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Plus,
man.
the soundtrack was awful.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, that's funny because that's what reminded me of Castlevania. It sounded like a '90s like shitty PS1 game.
Yeah.
But that's not a good thing in 2017. um, yeah. Next, Dynamic Chord. This is another shitty boy band thing.
Like I said,
it's
I
bad.
saw the four cute boys in the
Yeah.
picture, and the music tag
Yeah.
in the any chart, and I
Uh-huh.
said, nope,
Yep.
too gay for me.
I saw that and I was like, here we go. I watched like the first 2 minutes and I was like, oh nope, not doing this. So yeah, it's not good. Evil
I
or
watched-
Live. Okay, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was going to say something.
Go ahead.
This show is complete trash.
Which one?
Evil or
Okay,
Live.
okay. I thought you had something to say on Dynamic Chord. Yeah, Evil or Live. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? This is another one where I couldn't even make it through one episode. Oh my
This
god.
is one of the Chinese cartoons, I think.
Is it? I think you're right.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The only good thing about the show is the premise. The execution of everything going on is very amateur.
I was so fucking confused immediately. The show starts off when you're like in this like video game like arcade, like this dark arcade, and like people are like shooting monsters while there's a chant going on. It's fucking madness. I couldn't discern like anything. I was trying to like digest what I was even watching. It felt like an art house piece. It was fucking. It was a mess.
And that's the thing I hated about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it tries to be so artsy and like full
Yeah.
of style.
It
and
felt very pretentious.
It's very, yeah, it's pretentious. That's what I'm looking for. That's the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretentious. It has this Akayuki Shimbo from Monogatari.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're right.
what are those called? Like
Um,
the whole screen is one color and there's a little bit of text on it.
it just I don't know what they're called, but yeah, I know what you mean. They just like stop the show for a second. It's like frames, like
Yeah,
the little frames they'll show on screen for a second. Yeah.
yeah. And it just feels like they're ripping off Akayuki Shimbo's style.
You're
It
right.
doesn't feel like it adds anything.
I
to the
didn't even connect to that, but you're right. I think that is probably what it is. Holy shit. I think where I stopped, I got to the part where they
We
were
gotta explain what the show is all about.
you explain it because I don't fucking know.
Okay, so at the beginning, these guys are playing video games in like an arcade, and they're very into it. So it like establishes that those guys are obsessed, and that they basically live in this game. Like this is their whole life. They're very into it. Like
Okay.
they're obsessed. Like I said,
I thought they were like drugged or something.
it looks like they're drunk. But they're just fucking teenagers that are way too into video games.
Okay.
That's, I think, what it is. And then the main protagonist wakes up in like a prison, and
Yeah.
then it's about this prison where they bring people who are like obsessed with internet video games. I
Mhm.
think that's what it is, and they treat them very harshly.
Okay.
That's the show, pretty much.
What a
from
waste
the
of
first
time.
episode. I think the premise is very interesting. Like
It is, but
if it was done by a better director and better studio, this could have been like a psychological horror.
that's true.
Like,
I see what you
um,
mean.
and making a point about video games and its culture and how people are way too obsessed with video games. And this is like a I don't know what it's called in English, where
Mhm.
people go to
Arcades?
no,
I don't
people
know.
that are like obsessed with drugs, and they put them in like it's like a prison, but it's you can leave whenever you want.
Oh, like rehab.
Rehab, yeah. It's
Oh,
like
I
a
see.
rehab. Yeah,
I see.
but it looks more like a prison, this one.
Okay.
And you can't leave.
Yeah, I got to the part where the guy there was a guy screaming about how he's like oh, it's just like a game. We're in like a puzzle box, and I was so
Yeah.
pissed off about his personality that I immediately just clicked out.
Look, I hate everything about this show.
Mm-hmm.
Characters were so comically anime.
Yeah,
Especially the purple hair guy. He was like,
I don't even think I met him.
evil. Then he plays friendly with the main guy. He turns around and he's like, he doesn't even know. Like that kind of vibe.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. Just the thing that pisses me the thing that pisses me off the most about this fucking show is the name. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it has such a bad name.
Evil
This is the
or
best
live?
season.
Is it evil or live or evil or live?
Oh.
And what does that even
I never
fucking
thought
mean?
about that.
What does that even mean?
Anyway. I don't
Evil
know.
and live aren't opposites.
But don't you get it? Like
No!
in Hobo, it's evil, but spelled backwards, it's live.
Yeah,
It's
what a
so
meme.
smart, dude. You
Oh
don't
my-
even understand.
Fucking god, I would have fucking kill everything.
You're just too dumb. To be
You're right.
honest, you have to have a very high IQ to understand this show, okay?
Yeah. It's
That's,
actually it's
yeah,
actually
that's
yeah,
a Rick and Morty
yeah, I know.
reference.
I fucking know, you fucking pleb.
I don't watch that shit.
I know.
I don't.
Rick and Morty is one of those things where I'm like, oh, I'll just save it for a rainy day. You know, like
Same.
I'll watch it someday because I know it's probably going to be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. But
I don't want to get into this.
anyways,
I don't think it. I don't know if it's bad. It's just like the fans and the culture.
yes,
Anyway,
the fans piss me off, but I'm sure the show is
yes.
fine. Next show. This one was interesting. Garo Vanishing Line, or I guess it's Vanishing Line Garo, as it displays in the show. Apparently, I don't know what the fuck a Garo is. Apparently, this is like a spin-off of like a different show.
Yeah.
Um, I thought this was really messy, but when it was good, it was really good. But when it was terrible, it fucking made me want to puke.
I fucking loved this one.
Really?
This is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not my number one, but
I
it's like maybe number two.
You explain the premise then, because are you familiar with Garo?
No, but
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think you have to be.
No, I agree.
what I've
I
seen.
agree. It's not like
I
super
didn't
into
watch
it.
any Garo series
Yeah.
before.
Okay. So
Um,
if you liked it, you probably can explain it better than I can.
yeah, I can explain a little bit if I can, like, anyway. It's about, fuck.
It's
wait a
about this
second.
girl. The
No,
girl who like
I just messed something on my screen. That's why I stumbled.
oh
Anyway, it's about this guy
uh-huh.
who has a ring
Yeah.
and a motorcycle,
Yeah.
and this ring speaks. Like
Mhm.
he's a character on his own.
It's fucking awesome.
He goes around the city and he just beats up these monsters.
Yeah.
They're just monsters. You don't need to know anything about them, even though there's a separate plot.
I'm sure,
But
yeah.
the basic like appeal of the series is this badass dude goes around the town and just fucking beats up monsters. And it's the coolest shit I've ever seen.
It's pretty fucking awesome. Like the idea of it. And I like the main girl. Like, I think she's got a great style. I love her character design. I'm a big fan of the chicks who wear like sweatshirts and have headphones
Oh, I
on.
love it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a basic
very
thing.
cute.
It's very cool. I think that's awesome. I love that she's like trying to like what the fuck was she trying to do? She was trying to like find someone, and she got caught up in a situation where this badass motorcycle dude that you're describing, he had to like, what's his name? His name's Sword. That's right.
I
So,
think that's like his tag or something.
I know that's what he called himself. So I don't know. That's what I'll call him.
Yeah, whatever. He's sword.
He fucking like saves her, and it's awesome. It's badass. And I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I think the show, on a conceptual level, is fucking awesome. My issue is with the action choreography, and
That.
it
I was
fuck.
going to say something about that.
Oh my god, this show gave me a headache. Like
I think it's very ambitious.
Yes.
For TV animation.
It
It's
is.
too ambitious at times. It's very confusing, and you don't know what's going on.
It is very impressive the amount of very very detailed frames per second that you see, but it is completely incoherent, and
But
it's super hard to tell what's fucking happening.
yeah, it's all over the place. But here's the thing: when it looks bad, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just too much of it.
Yes.
You don't understand exactly what's happening.
Mhm.
But when you do, it's the coolest thing you can see right now on the fucking TV.
The aesthetic of it reminded me of like a gothic version of Redline.
Yeah,
it was very cool.
That's exactly the impression it gave me.
Yeah.
And the reason why I love it so much, because this is like my aesthetic. This is what I look for in
I
anime.
believe it. Yeah, I saw this and I was like, this is man mode. Like, Sword is literally the man mode.
He is the fucking manliest protagonist.
His fucking
Ever.
muscles. Did you see him eat that steak?
fuck.
The
Look,
fuck?
he represents everything I feel inside, okay? I eat big,
Yeah.
and I like big curves. He fucking bows every time he sees a beautiful woman.
Oh my god, that's right.
In my head every time.
He does.
I'm like, thank God that you exist. You're so fucking blessed. And that's me. That's me. This guy is me if I were 10 times cooler. Okay?
Yeah, he does fucking bow. I forgot about that. That's fucking awesome. Look, again, I love everything that this guy represents, but I finished the first episode and I was like, I don't think I can handle any more of this. Um, Maybe if it gets better and it gets more like, I don't know, digestible to watch, then that'd be great. But I don't know.
The action won't be ever as intense
Yeah,
and as in the first episode.
I'm hoping. Yeah, they can't.
I think they went all out in the first one.
I think you're right, but I don't know. We'll find out because I don't think there was a second episode out when
Because it's not that the action is bad per se, but
Yeah, exactly.
it has this shaky cam feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and there are way too many effects going on at the same time.
And it's going back and forth between 2D and CG, like constantly. Constantly. It's going back and forth. And the
Although I
CG
didn't
looks
mind
good.
the CG.
The CG looks good. It's just that they keep going back and forth between it. If they were consistent with it, then I think it would look better.
There's the scene at the end where he hops on the motorcycle and he chases this fast monster
That's
through
right.
the highway, and the action is so fast. Like
Yeah.
the thing that is actually happening is so fast that when animated, it just looks like a bunch of nothing. You can't like figure out what's going on exactly.
Yeah.
That's
This
that's
is-
like the only criticism I have of it, though.
In general,
Everything else I loved.
when it comes to CG animation, I think there's a big issue when it comes to frame rate. Like I think that is the biggest problem with a lot of these shows because for some reason, all these anime developers like when they fucking like want to put CG in their shows, they have like this thing where they have to have it at 24 frames per second, and I don't get that. Like I think
because it's jarring
it-
going from
it looks
standard
so
animation to
bad.
60.
it looks so fuck. Yeah, I know, but like I would rather go from 24 to 60 than back to 24 and keep it consistent than
Look,
the shit they do in this fucking show.
I
You
don't
know?
know how animation works exactly, but in Kill la Kill, for example,
Mm-hmm.
they have CG moments. But I watched the documentary of it,
Yeah.
and they like take out specific frames so it looks like standard animation.
Yeah.
The only thing is like the aesthetic is like a bit more CG,
Yeah.
and it works in that. I don't know why studios can do the same. I guess they don't put that much care in it. I don't know.
I think it's because what they want to do, because CG, people have this misconception about CG animation that it's like easier or that it's cheaper to do. That's actually not true. It's what's weird about it is that they want to consolidate everything. Most
It is
shows
easier though.
they want to. It is, but it isn't. It is. It requires more resources because you need a very powerful set of computers in order to composite these scenes, and you need some really great character designers to make it so you can render these guys in CG, and still make them look good. It's difficult in a different way, and what they want to do, I think, is they want to like make it so that they can make the most things on screen CG so that it looks less jarring.
Yeah.
Because if we'll get to a show later, where there's like one object on screen, that's CG and it looks fucking atrocious. I would rather everything look CG. So I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I have a lot of things to say on this show that it's
Yeah,
far
I
down
had
the
a
list.
blast
But
watching this. This show
Yeah.
is made for me,
I can see it.
and I never watched Garo before.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe
I'm-
I should
yeah,
like,
I'm-
watch the other series, but I don't think they're like this. Like because the whole aesthetic of the city and the main protagonist and the girl, like I love all about that.
Oh yeah, the music. The music was really cool
Oh,
too.
It fucking gave me a boner.
It was
The
so cheesy, but it was so fucking cool.
Oh god. And the first scene, they literally fight a monster made of tits.
That's right.
That's the monster. He's made of fucking boobs.
It's a fucking tit beast. It's amazing.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Anyway, I highly recommend the show if you can get
Yeah.
like just ignore the fucking parts where you don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Just be like,
it doesn't
"Okay,
really
something's
matter.
happening."
Yeah,
Yeah. That's why I don't mind it that much. Even
Sure.
though I can acknowledge it looks like shit.
I agree.
sometimes.
You know what? This is okay. The next show we're talking about is an excellent example of my CG thing. Houseki no
Oh,
Kuni
Yes.
Or what again, the English fucking titles.
I'm gonna put some screenshots in chat so you can like put them in the video. I took some screenshots. They're
Sure, go ahead.
so fucking beautiful.
This show looks really good, but the frame rate is terrible. It's fucking trash. And I don't understand how this passed anything. Like, I
Here's
don't.
the thing. I don't know if I'm like dumb or blind.
Uh-huh.
I didn't notice that.
Okay.
It looks
Good.
great for me.
Good. I'm glad, because I couldn't even finish the first episode. I was so like, it, again, was giving me that feeling of like, it's hurting my eyes a little bit. So yeah, the show was kind of yeah, it fucking looks amazing in still frames, but the movement was just very, it was very static. Not static. It was very plasticky and robotic, and I don't know.
Let's explain what this show is all about. Can you explain it?
It's about like these fucking crystal girls who like, I think it's like Steven Universe.
Really?
I
don't know.
I
never
think
watched that.
I don't know.
What Steven Universe is. I mean, I know.
There's these fucking crystal girls, and they're trying to beat up demons, and that's pretty much it.
I think you're underselling it.
I probably
think it's
am.
Very interesting.
It is
I think
interesting.
it's one of the most unique shows.
It is. I just don't know how to describe it in a way that adequately like holds up how unique it is.
It's like a weird universe, right?
Yeah.
Where these girls are made of crystal, and each has like their own hardness, depending of which crystal they're made of. And then there are these weird moon people
Oh
that
yeah.
come from the moon.
That's right.
And they like try to rob their crystals. Like their
Yeah.
objective is, I think, to take the girls to the moon. I don't know like why that is, but the way everything looks and everything that is presented, and the whole like, I mean, it takes place on Earth, but it does have like this otherworldly feeling.
Yeah.
Like the whole universe.
It
It's
feels
something like I've never seen before.
it almost
It's
is
very unique.
uncomfortable the way it is so alien. And I love it.
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that about it. It's
Yeah,
like
me
what
too.
drew me in.
Yeah, I agree. I just I just couldn't with the frame rate. What I might do, this is something I wanted to think about doing. I used to have this program on my computer where it would like interpolate frames
Yeah, I know what you
into
mean.
shows. I
Yeah,
want
I
to
have
try
that too.
I want to try watching this show with the frame interpolation. Cuz I think this would look really good if
This is one of my favorite shows of the season, by the way.
I could understand that. It's just another one where aesthetically I just was like, I see it, it's almost there. I can't finish this. I can't watch it.
I don't know. I think it looks very pretty. I didn't
Yeah.
Notice the frame rate, like
Okay,
you said.
that's
Maybe I
good.
just don't look at it like that.
Good. That's
But-
that's good. I'm a fucking like frame rate snob.
It's weird.
I guess
but
so.
I wanted to say that this is one of the rare anime, might be like one of the only ones, where I think that it looks better in 3D CG.
I would agree.
I think this is the show that was like, from the conception of it being an anime, it was planned as being a 3D anime because it looks
Yeah.
because the aesthetic of the 3D helps it.
I
can't
agree.
imagine
Yeah.
this being a 2D show and looking like this.
Yeah. I I think you're right. I just wish they had planned it a little better in terms of like how the viewers would see it. But I don't know, because I do agree. I don't think this show would look better in 2D at all. Like I think it would absolutely look worse. But
I read a little bit of the manga just to see how it looks like. It doesn't look as great.
oh, it doesn't?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
show
sad.
is like a million times better looking.
That's cool. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I do want to give this one another shot. Those screenshots are really good.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I love the show just because it's like such a different experience, and this is what
Yes.
I like look for in anime. I want to like be taken to a world that is completely like something I've never even imagined.
Yeah.
And this is it. Like the moment those moon people came to attack, I was sold, completely sold. This is something that I couldn't even imagine. This is like something completely different. And
Yeah,
that's why I
exactly.
liked it. The story, though, I think it can like get bad. It's pretty good right now, but I think
Mm-hmm.
it can be too much. It
I
can get like too what's the word I'm looking for?
Melodramatic,
No,
or
it's just they. I think they can introduce too many concepts and
I
be
see.
like make it be too convoluting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
I don't even think I made it that far to like comment on the story. Um, but like I don't know. You clearly liked it more than I did, so that's cool.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But
This.
like I
Go ahead.
said, the story, like I liked it from the aesthetic, and
You know what the show
yeah,
reminds me of? Hold on.
I like the aesthetic and like the whole universe. But it's like all up to the story now if it would keep my interest or not. Like I can see it dropping in like 5 episodes because the story gets like too convoluted or something.
You know what the show reminds me of? Flip Flappers. My fucking mouth. Flip
Yeah, a little
Flappers.
bit.
Like in terms of the world feel and like going to these worlds and like the alien feel that it kind of gives you. Um, totally different in every other way,
Yeah,
but that just hit me.
I mean,
Um,
I know what you mean.
it's not totally relatable because I think Houseki no Kuni is kind of one of the most unique shows I've seen in a while. Um, it's really not comparable to anything else, which is really cool. But yeah. So the next show is Imoto Sai Ireba Ri, or it's fucking A Sister Is All You Need.
Oh, that one.
This one is not good.
This one gave me ero manga feelings more so than the other one, Blend S.
I don't disagree. So this fucking show is it's about this like light novel writer, and of course it's based off a light novel. It's about this light novel writer who can only write about like sister characters because he's like obsessed with sister characters. That's pretty much it. The best part of the show, I didn't finish the first episode. I made it like 15 minutes in. The best part of the show is that it's got this hilarious opening scene where the main character is dreaming, or not even dreaming. He's reading off like his newest book that he was writing, and it's basically you're just like watching what his book is gonna be.
That is the
And
best part.
It like starts off with a girl, his like the character's sister, sitting on his lap naked in bed, waking him up, and then making out with him, and then she like at one point gives him like he washes his face with the bathwater of like the bathwater that his sister just took a bath in. He like dries his face with a worn bra that she just was wearing like the other day. For breakfast he eats like fucking I'm not making this shit up. He is consuming her breast milk and eggs that she has laid. Oh yeah, and then she like feeds him one of her. She like interdimensionally reaches into a portal, pulls out a pair of used panties, and literally feeds it to him. It's fucking hilarious.
It's hilarious. I love it. I love it.
It was amazing. Unfortunately, everything after that was the most boring thing I've ever seen.
I was so disappointed when I saw that
Me
the
too.
show is not just that. I would watch a show
I know.
like that.
I was so mad.
It would be trashy, but at least it would be like funny.
Oh my god, it was so funny. The light beams covering her nips were like hilarious because they were so obviously just like put in there. Like it was very like corny and fun.
I think I love it. It's so unapologetic, and
I know.
it hammers the point that this guy really has a sister complex.
Like it's not even a little bit. It's kind of a problem. Like it's a scary amount of sister appreciation. So I don't know. That's pretty much all the show is, though.
After that, it introduces this his co-workers, basically. Like there are people who also write and draw
friends.
manga and shit like that.
Yeah, friends he knows who are writers.
Yeah. And there is this horny chick who constantly wants to make out with the guy and have sex with him.
I loved her. I hated him.
I hated her.
Oh
here's
my God.
why. Because she reminds me of Megumin, and she's like such a
Oh,
forced meme that I know that nerds are going to fucking eat this up. I'm going to see this
Oh, you're
on
right.
fucking Reddit, 4chan, everywhere. This is going to be such a meme, I think. It's such a forced meme. Like, I can just see the writers like thinking, let's make her say a dick, and let's make her like she wants to constantly have sex because nerds are going to love that.
She knocks on the door and he opens the door and she literally says, "Let's have sex." Like that's how she introduces herself.
I hate her. I mean, it's a gimmick, but it's like such a forced one. And
I would really like her if they were actually dating and they were actually like a couple and they were both into it.
See, that's
her
also
as a concept is fucking retarded.
This is what I hate about shows like this. Because you have this character who is so open and sexual. And you have this guy who is like the most beta guy ever. Why can't I watch a show? Like I said before, why can't I watch a show where both guys are into that sort of thing? I just want to see that. Like constantly I was thinking, just fucking smash that shit. God damn it.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
I was so annoyed. Like, why doesn't she just like literally cosplay as like a sister character? Whatever. It's just, this show pissed me off because the beginning was so good, and then you're right. After I found out, the whole show isn't like this. Oh, well, that's boring.
You didn't watch the whole episode, right?
No,
I think that
I stopped like when they were sitting and eating at the table. I was like, "Fuck this."
The last few minutes kind of got better.
Really?
I don't like recommend you watch it, but I'm just saying that you missed on like a decent scene. It was kind of sweet.
I believe
it was about the girl, and she like opens up a little bit, and you see a little bit of her backstory, and so it shows how this guy met this girl. The girl is like a huge fan of him. So after he finds out about her, he reads her manga, and it's a very cool scene where he just has a normal face and just tears up. And it was that specific moment was so relatable to me, like how I get emotional when I read or watch stuff. It was very well done. That scene in particular was well done, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing. Like, it's a Silverlink show, so the inadequacies of the show, I don't think came from like the directing or anything. And that scene was probably so well done because it's Silverlink. But the writing and the characters just
it's a great scene. He
like
just starts reading the light novel or manga, whatever it was, and it's a montage of time passing and him rolling in bed and reading in different positions, and then he just stands up straight, tears up, and says, "That was on a whole another level." You know, that feeling when when you watch something great and you say that to yourself, "Holy shit, that was something else, dude."
Yeah.
That was great.
I could see that being good. Yeah.
And he immediately got inspired and started writing on his computer right after he read it. And that's kind of how I am.
think it's possible that I can relate to that too. I could see this show potentially getting better. Like if people say like in the future like, "Oh, it actually ends up getting really good and it ends in a way that's more interesting," I might give it a second shot. It's just because it didn't like I say it pissed me off, but I could see it bouncing back.
I can see it, but I doubt it personally.
Yeah, me too. Like, oh my god, that'd be so unlikely.
You can judge it from the first episode, and the characters were so bland and without personality.
Ready to go on to the next one?
Yeah.
Because I have a lot to say on this one.
Oh, God.
This next show is Infini-T Force.
No, it's Infini-T Force, okay?
Yeah, I love it. It's ridiculous. This show, on a conceptual level, is one of the like most insane things I've ever seen. It's basically the Avengers, but if you took a bunch of 70s like shonen like superhero characters,
they are shonen
and just
superhero characters from 70s 80s.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like an Avengers kind of story with them.
Yeah.
Like, and that as a concept is really fucking cool. Um, I also think this show is like, although it's aesthetically not the most interesting thing, like the Crystal show was like way more interesting.
That's
in
the
terms of
reason I can't watch this.
In terms of CG animation, this was the best looking CG I've seen in a while.
Are you
like,
serious? It looks like a fucking PlayStation 2 game.
Yes, but here's the thing. It was smooth, it had weight, I wasn't lost for anything, all the characters moved in a decently natural way. I didn't feel like I was watching like a fucking slideshow.
Sure.
It was concise and elegant to watch. I don't think that
sure,
any of the
it's
characters
just
look
ugly.
that amazing.
It's ugly
but
to
like,
me. Like
yeah,
the whole
I know.
aesthetic and the
It didn't
graphics.
Exactly. It didn't have like a great aesthetic look to it, but I like the character designs because, you know, these are famous, like, you know, 70s action heroes. They look fucking awesome even when you put them in this crazy CG like thing, especially Kashurn. I love Kashurn.
Here's the
Kashurn's
thing.
fucking badass.
I don't have a connection to any of these old ass characters. I don't want to shit talk them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they're great, but as someone who has no connection to them, well,
Yeah.
I think they were cool in a way. The 10-year-old in me would love them.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's a little... I think I'm gonna drop this one. I watched the 3 episodes that were out, and I had a decent time, but I can't see this one giving me much more beyond what it's already done, because the villains are dumb. They have, like, no character.
Yeah,
I mean, they have character, but they're not interesting.
The villain is awful. I hated the villain. He's
the
again
pink-haired
one of
guy.
those, my fabulous hair, Takeshi. Don't you like my ridiculous Final Fantasy hair?
But I think it fits better in a show about like cheesy hero characters. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a cheesy villain is a bit more understandable
Yeah, I
with
kinda
cheesy
understand
heroes.
that.
But it's not interesting. Like I didn't really feel like I need to like keep watching it. But like, and the action choreography, I think in general was fantastic. Like the end of episode 1 when Kashurn shows up after the ED is fucking
The
awesome.
action is good.
Like, oh my god, dude, that was amazing. And that was like the biggest reason I wanted to keep watching it, because I was like, how does this look so fun? Like it was just fun to watch.
But
like them just beat things up.
when nothing is going on, when they're just
Oh
talking,
my god.
I found the
Yeah.
writing to be very generic and without personality. I don't know. I think the show
I just
as a
zoned
whole,
out.
like, doesn't have any real passion coming from it.
I know what you mean. It
And
does kind of just feel like a corporate kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the problems I have with it.
Yeah.
I understand like what it's going for. Like, let's take these old ass characters that a lot of people like, and let's make this a nostalgia fest, like Avengers.
Yeah, but like a faithful kind of a nostalgia fest. It actually would have been better if they didn't do it in CG and they stuck to that 70s style. Like, that would be fucking amazing. If we had if it was
I would probably watch that.
like if it was 70s cell animation, like classic style animation, but done up a little bit more, kind of like a Cuphead, you know, like a reimagining of an old style with all these old characters and like a new story.
Because then I would go like, okay, they are trying to, they can do two things with it. They can appeal to the old fans of the series by, like you said, trying to like reimagine it. And they could like introduce me into it, because when I see these PS2 cutscenes, I'm thinking, nah, dude, I rather watch the old shows.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, I don't have an attachment to any of these characters really. I know who some of them are, but like I knew who the Gotcha Man guy was.
I know
and
who all of them are.
I love Kashurn, but I didn't know like the other two. But like, I don't know. I think this show is a neat idea with a lot of cool. I just love the concept of taking all these old characters and putting them into a show. It's not the most well done, and it definitely feels very cash grabby.
Yeah. But I'm sure for some people it's like a good throwback.
Oh, I'm sure if you're a fan of all, if you're familiar with any of these, like if you've seen the 70s shows for any of these characters, I'm sure this is really cool because I got the sense that there were a lot of references.
Yeah.
Just, like, cool
and I
little
got that
nods and
feeling
stuff.
that like I would watch this if it wasn't in PlayStation 2 cutscenes, because I would be sort
Yeah.
of be able to appreciate these guys even though I have no connection with them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
including the PlayStation 2 graphics, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I watched the 2 episodes though.
I defend that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I didn't love it, but I made it through 3 episodes because I was like, this is just kind of easy to watch. Like, yeah, the parts where they're sitting around talking. Oh, you know what? That's something I wanted to talk about. I really don't like what they did with their, like, the way they're all like pretty boys suddenly. Like, it's like a reverse harem, like we were talking about earlier.
I think
There's the
it
main
doesn't
girl
fit in this series in particular.
Like, what the fuck happened to Kashurn? Again, I talk about Kashurn. He's fucking awesome. You look at, like, Kashurn's sins, and, like, the way that character looks, like, without his helmet, he's got, like, this kind of flowy, like brown hair. But they turn him in, like, into this weird-ass, like,
Alien boy.
fucking show, like, what the fuck is the word for, like, a male lolly?
Shota.
Yeah, they turn him in, like, this little Shota bitch. With like gray bitch looking hair, and I'm like, what the fuck did you do to Kashurn?
Yeah.
It was weird. Like, I don't know. And they kept making this joke about how Gatchaman is so old.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, the guy in the bird guy, he's like kind of older than everyone else, I guess. So they kept calling him Grandpa, and I'm like, but you guys are all from the same era. How are you not all the same age? Like, I don't get this. I don't know. Maybe he was older in the show. I don't know. But yeah, that pissed me off. I hated that they made it into like this reverse harem thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't fit the show.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Whatever. Inuya. I just watched this one. This is like the last one I watched. Inuyashiki.
Inuyashiki.
You're right. That's how you say it. Inuyashiki. I'm fucking bad at Japanese, dude. Why do we talk about anime when I'm so bad at this shit? This show was interesting. It's about this old man who, not even old. He's like 58. Yeah, 58. Like not that.
He
old,
looks older than he actually is.
He looks like he's like 75, 80.
Yeah.
Because he's dying. He's got like stomach cancer.
But he's like over 50.
Yeah.
He's not above 60.
Yeah. The whole first episode is basically making you kind of fall in love with this guy and like feel bad for him. Because his family hates him. I agree. Like, it was very powerful. His family doesn't appreciate him. He doesn't seem to work a very pleasant job. But he's a very likable character because he appreciates like the little things. Like, he finds this fucking dog. Oh my god, dude. He finds this dog in a cardboard box that someone like left behind, and he just takes this dog, and he's like old and dying and whatever, but he still wants this dog, and just, I don't know, that one bit of his character sold me so much on him, because I started to like, because at first I thought this was trying to go for like the whole tear fest kind of thing, like cry porn, but like, then when they show the dog, I really felt that they were making him like more endearing.
Of course, you just throw in the dog and everything gets better.
Exactly. It was, I don't know, but on a random night when like the night he basically finds out that he has this like stomach cancer, that he's gonna die in 3 months, he kind of runs away from home and hangs out in this park for like a little while, and suddenly aliens descend and turn him into a fucking mech, like a fucking like human robot.
They like crash into Earth, and they're like, holy shit, why did we come here? Oh shit, we killed those 2 guys. Let's remake them.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
And he turns into a robot.
I think the other guy turned into a robot, and we'll probably see his backstory.
Yeah,
in the
there's
next
another
episode.
guy who is standing right beside him, and he
for some reason
gets caught up. Yeah, for some reason. I think they will reveal that.
Probably.
Anyway, he probably turned into a robot too, but we haven't met him yet in the first episode.
Yeah, the first episode is just about the old guy, and it's pretty awesome.
It's great. I like this one. Bad
Me
CG
too.
aside.
Yeah, this is one of the shows, like, the CG it cuts in and out, and I get why they did it, because he's a fucking, like, crazy robot, and it'd be really, really hard to animate, like, all the crazy
Yeah.
individual pieces of him, but I would have rather seen them try than what they did here.
I don't know. I think in this one I can like forgive the bad CG because it's not about that. It's not about
Exactly.
looking it looking cool. It's about this old dude and his story, right?
Yeah, I agree. It didn't turn me off because the story was good enough.
I don't know. I really felt for the old dude. Like as someone who hates teenagers and old people equally.
Yes.
I was like, fuck the teenagers, because I know how badly
Yes.
teenagers treat old people. I've seen it myself multiple times.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck those guys.
Yeah, it was great. My only, like, sort of concern is that after he turns into a robot, he like tries to save this guy, and that whole scene was a little awkward. Like, the way it played out was very strange. He like, the old man like tries to block the fireworks, and he's like, but he doesn't succeed.
It was
They just
weird.
miss. It was weird. It just felt awkward.
It was exactly like watching an old guy trying to save another old guy. Imagine that.
I guess
like
you're
that.
right.
It's not heroic, it's not flashy, it's not cool. It's just old guy saving another old guy.
Yeah, it's weird. You know what? I like that side guy though. The old guy, like, homeless man who was like, the teenagers were like bullying. I liked him. We briefly like get into his character because he's calling like his ex-wife, I assume. He's like a homeless guy who's like a shit father, I'd assume. And he's finally getting his life back together. He's got like a job. He's trying to get back into like contributing for society. So he's calling up his ex-wife and being like, "Can I have a second chance? Can I go back and move into the house?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's fine. I think you've worked hard for this. That makes sense." And it's like so endearing. And then when you see him get like bullied by these fireworks, it's like, fuck these guys.
Do you think he will make an appearance again? Or
I have
was
no
he just
idea.
for the one episode? What do you think?
He might. I could see him making like small like guest appearances every once in a while, but that's something that more like a comedy show would do.
Yeah.
So I doubt it.
character.
Yeah. Well, I think that's cool though. Even a side character like him gets some pretty meaningful backstory.
Yeah. I mostly like the part where he found out he has like cancer or something.
Yes.
And
It's cancer.
Yeah, he comes home and he wants to tell the kids and the wife,
yes.
and they just fucking treat him very badly, and he doesn't want to tell them because first he doesn't know how, if they will even react to that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's just that feeling that I mean, they're treating me badly. It would be kind of cheap to like throw this out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And he just
it's
doesn't
like,
have the guts to tell them. It's so sad in a way.
It's almost it is really sad. It's almost a sense of like he doesn't want to get in their way. Like he hates that they don't like him, but he doesn't want to upset them by
if my
trying
English
to
was
force
better,
them to care.
If my English was better and I could express myself better, that's what I would say.
I know what you meant. Yeah. It's really good, but my only concern for this is that, like, I have no fucking idea what the rest of this is gonna be. Like, the other guy's gonna turn into, like, a robot, obviously, but,
I
like...
think it's going to have more of a plot. I think
Yeah,
they
I
will
would agree.
introduce the plot in, like, second episode or third.
I think this
was
is
kind
like
of
an
like
action show.
Yeah, this was kind of like an introduction, I think, only.
Yeah.
The plot
I don't know.
will kick in the next few episodes, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope it stays this good, but I'm very concerned. I just have this really strong premonition that this can go downhill very quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first episode's great. So no matter what, I think it's worth watching that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like its own little side story.
Yeah.
Like this, it could be in a short film. It's like that one movie where the guy, he's like an old guy who's in like this robot. What the fuck is this movie? This old guy is in like a pod, And the pod it like turns into a mech. Um, and the old guy's like passed out the whole time, I think. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie in like years, but it's a similar kind of thing, sort of. Anyways, I'm sorry, that had nothing to do with anything. Next show, this one hasn't come out yet. The next show is Just Because.
Oh god. What do you think about it? Actually, here's what the show is all about. It's about a guy who transfers to this new school, but he knows a few people there, and it's a slice of life, like drama and romance, and that's it. That's the show. This guy's come to this
really
school
standard.
and interacts with these characters. That's the whole show.
Yeah.
For one, I can tell you that this show can put me to sleep very well.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Well, it is very relaxing, but yeah, it's super boring.
I wouldn't say it's bad.
Me neither.
I think it's going to be a decent slice of life show. It has that kind of a Kyoto Animation feeling to it.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
It's
I think
just not for me.
Aesthetically, the show is actually pretty good. Like, I think the flowy kind of mushy look a lot of the characters have is appealing, and the animation isn't bad either. And the subdued colors are nice, but like, I don't know. And you know what? Episode 1, it started off kind of really boring, but then there's this whole baseball scene. It goes on too long, but like, it is really fun watching the guy hit the home run.
I don't know.
Like I like that. I was like, oh, that was fun.
I didn't care for it.
But then the rest of it, I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, yeah, I don't know. This is just kind of, I feel like I'm wasting time when I watch the show. Like, it didn't mean anything. I don't feel like I watched anything. I just watched like some anime, like some animation. There was no story or like characters. You know?
Yeah, that's the problem I have with these kinds of shows. And that's why, for example, I couldn't even watch Hibike Euphonium, even though I know that's like probably 1,000 times better show.
Yeah.
I watched the whole first season of that, by the way. And
yeah,
it was just like, yeah, I mean, I know it's about the characters and how they interact and how they grow and all that shit, but it just puts me to sleep. It's so boring to me.
I have a very, I described
it feels
this in
like
a live
I'm watching
stream.
life.
I have a very unique opinion on Hibike Euphonium. That I can't say why most people will like the show. For me, I played Euphonium in high school for like 2.5 years. I relate.
Did you also
I relate
have
to this
a
character.
vagina?
Yes, yeah, that is exactly what you fucking said in the live stream. Yes, I did. If you didn't know, I'm a fucking like, I'm not even transgender. It just came out. Like the vagina just morphed. You know,
you are the electric hobo. That's what you are.
Yeah,
that's how you explain that.
The electricity in my hobo blood like morphed me into a dude one day. I kept the long hair because, you know, why not?
Okay.
Anyways, next fucking show. Juuni Taisen. This is the one where like there's like 12 characters and it's like a battle royale thing.
I thought I was going to hate this one.
Me too. This is definitely one that surprised me.
Yeah.
It started off in a really kind of weird way that I was unsure of, but then it got really fun really fast. And the character designs are fucking awesome. So
yeah,
it's basically, it's just a battle royale show, but it's like the way it's handled is so fun. There's just these 12 characters that are all really eccentric and have really interesting abilities that we don't even know all of yet. They're slowly introducing all of them. I watched the first 2 episodes.
They all look interesting or cool.
Yes, they're all badass or weird or creepy, like the fucking rabbit.
It's kind of like a mystery of what can these people do, because you see these characters who are from the very beginning very badass, and you're like, holy shit, these guys are fucking strong. And then you have these all these other characters that all of them say, this guy is one of the strongest guy here, and you're like, holy shit, what can this guy do? What is his ability?
You're just like curious the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
And every character looks very interesting and unique.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And the first episode has a fantastic gimmick where they trick you into thinking that the main character of the first episode is going to be the main character of the whole season. But it's more like you get a different main character depending on like maybe one half of an episode will focus on one set of characters, and then it dances around. It's not really like that. But like the whole first episode, it goes like really in depth on the backstory of this girl and like how she came to be in this like kind of situation. That alone is really interesting. But then
That pissed me off a lot.
Really?
Because they killed her like minutes later.
I kind of like that though, because it was like, oh, I didn't expect that. Like that was kind of cool.
I got really invested into this girl. So like they explain the whole like backstory of her and how she became this cruel killer, right?
Mm-hmm. Obsessed with murder, like just loves killing.
And you're like, holy shit, this girl looks cool. She's hot as hell.
She looks like she looks like grown up version of Shinobu from Kizumonogatari.
Yeah,
a little bit,
kind of like that. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
the tall, like big tits, like badass walk kind of character, you know?
Yeah, she's blonde, has a thick red lipstick.
Oh yeah,
and wielding 2 machine guns.
That's right, 2 machine guns.
And her ability is that she doesn't need to reload.
Yeah. You just shoot forever.
So yeah, like these all, I think there are 12 of them.
Yeah, I think it's like the 12 Chinese like Zodiac characters.
So all of them gather in this hall, like the game master or something comes out and tells, explains the rules basically.
Yeah. And
then it starts, this huge explosion happens, and this blonde girl and another character, who is like a bunny character, I think. He has like bunny ears, but he's looks very
fucking creepy.
He looks like a Tokyo Ghoul character, I think.
Yeah, that's right. He does, doesn't he?
He has the red eyes. Anyway.
Giant fucking tail. It's like huge.
I'm kind of spoiling the first episode, aren't I?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So they're about to fight, and this blonde girl like makes a huge plan in her head how this battle is going to resolve. Mm-hmm. And then it starts, and in like 5 seconds, she's dead.
Yeah.
That's the whole first episode.
The bunny guy is just that fucking powerful. He just kills her like super quick. They
spent 20 minutes telling us this detailed backstory, making us care for this character, even though she's horrible. She's still, I think she was still likable because she was interesting.
I agree.
And they kill her in minutes after that backstory happens. And that actually pissed me off. Because I was like, why the fuck are you wasting my time making me like this character if you're going to kill him off? She didn't play a role in this, like this whole game and the whole show. Like how they usually do in other... I don't think so. Because she's dead. She's irrelevant now.
Did you watch the second episode?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So the bunny guy like turns her into like a zombie. So maybe there'll be something. What was interesting about her backstory is like, I wonder whatever happened to her sister, because they never really finished that. Yeah, like they show like her about to do it, but they don't actually show her doing it. So I don't know.
Maybe she is somewhere. But
maybe
I think
she is
dead.
important, but because she was awesome, I love that character.
Yeah.
I love that she's like this crazy. The action choreography, dude, in this fucking show is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that it's like the first scene with this girl who doesn't even really matter to the main plot of the show. She's like just beating the shit out of people and like dodging bullets and jumping all around, and it's animated like really well. Oh, it was awesome.
I think it's great. Like dumb, mindless entertainment, but it's really fun.
Yeah, it's super like, it's not going for like crazy interesting themes or like an interesting story. It's a really fun battle royale series.
Yeah,
that's all it's trying to be, and I respect that.
Yeah, me too. I think I'll watch it.
Yeah, me too. I have no reason to stop. I'm like, this is just good. I like it.
Also, even though I think the bird girl, the pigeon girl, in the second
Oh,
episode
yeah.
will die soon. I liked her the
Probably.
most. I think she's my favorite character.
She's cool. Yeah.
She's like
my
this super cutesy girl who plays innocent the whole time, and they actually sell that. Like with anime, usually when they try to portray this innocent, cute girl, they kind of fail at that because you're constantly having the feeling like, yeah, that's not all she's about, right? She will show her real side later on, as is going to happen in like another show we're going to talk about, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And they
go ahead.
really, I'm sorry, they really sell you on that. I don't know where I was going with that. You interrupted me, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, fuck off. So, yeah, I agree. What was interesting about the chicken character is that she, like, gets bitten by this dog. The dog gives her, like, this fucking buff ability. And the dog character is gonna, like, use her as, like, a slave kind of thing to beat the shit out of people.
That's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to spoil it.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
and then
fuck it.
she doesn't even. What I love about this scene is that they don't even play it off like the chicken girl is actually evil the whole time. They play it more like she accidentally crushes him. Like that was the impression I got. Maybe she's evil, but that would be cool too.
That felt like more of a fuck off. You played me, bitch. Now you're dead.
It felt like she was pissed at him for biting her without like consent, and she was like "fuck you" and kill him
because they team up. What is he? Dog character?
He's a dog. Yeah.
This dog character and this pigeon girl team up, and the dog character is constantly like, "Yeah, I'm gonna use her, and then I'll fucking kill her.
I'm the fucking coolest. I can bite shit."
Yeah.
He's super edgy.
And when they see this blonde chick from the first episode walking, the dog bites the pigeon girl because it will make her stronger for a while, but she will die after, right? And the pigeon girl, I think she just got pissed. Like, why did you betray me? And just fucking grabs his head, and she doesn't even apply force to it. She just smashes the head.
It's just gone.
Yeah. Just
fucking
explodes
awesome.
in blood.
My favorite character though was the monkey. Cause she's just like straight up futaba.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She's futaba.
Like she's just futaba for Persona 5. Like that's who she is.
Futaba. Yeah.
She's like a computer explosives nerd. Yeah, she's great. I just love her character design.
Yeah.
she's even wearing like short shorts, I think.
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's awesome. But yeah, it's a good show. That's pretty much all I had to say about it, though. So, this next show is really interesting. It's the Kino's Journey. The Kino's Journey remake.
Yeah.
Is
it a remake or a reboot?
It is. It is a remake. I thought it was a sequel.
I thought it was kind of a reboot, like separate stories.
I thought it might be like a spin-off kind of thing. Yeah. But no, it's actually just a straight up remake.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen the original.
I have seen the first episode of the original.
Yeah.
And this wasn't the same as the first episode of the original.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like different the way they tell things, but
no, it's a different story. It's a different journey.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like it probably does things in like a different order probably, maybe.
Oh, maybe that, yeah.
Like that, but I don't know. This made me want to watch the original though, cause like, I think this is a really good story and has some really awesome characters. It's about this girl who is named Kino, who rides a badass talking motorcycle, and travels the world going from like country to country, just traveling, and she can only stay like 3 days in every country. That's like her rule. And she just does whatever she wants. She just goes around. It's very peaceful. It's very
I think
like
it's a boy.
Now, I was very confused about this because they in the show they call her a boy, but I looked it up and there a lot of like Wikipedia things on it and like all of like the descriptions on it are very adamant that it's a girl. Okay. Because I think in the show they go back and forth on this because I mean she's very, what's the word where you're like, you can't really tell. It could go either way.
No, I just thought it's a boy. I didn't even think about that. It didn't even cross my mind that she could be a girl.
Neither did I, but I read if I go to Mal and I read like the synopsis for the original Kino's journey, they say it's a girl like right there, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Kino is the heroine of the story. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. She's fucking awesome. She's got like 2 badass pistols. But I love that the tone of the series doesn't play it off like this is badass. It plays it off like a slice of life kind of thing, where it's like slow and methodical and very relaxing, but like really metal things are happening. And it's great. I love everything about this except for the fucking aesthetic. I didn't like the backgrounds. I didn't like the character designs as much as the originals in like the original like show from what I saw. I just don't like the way the show looks. The animation isn't that great. It has moments that are kind of nice, but overall it looks kind of bad. It has really terrible CG. This is the show I was talking about, where suddenly Kino will be like riding on the motorcycle and it'll cut to a different shot where it'll be like a little further away, and it'll be like a CG render of the cycle and her, and it'll be like moving awkwardly. It fucking looks gross.
I think it's just like fucking standard CG nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't even think much about it. It's like, it's bad CG.
What are we gonna do about it? It's in everything.
Yeah. This is a show that I don't particularly hate anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like that it's episodic.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's the reason I stopped watching Space Dandy, Cowboy Bebop, the original Kino's Journey. I just can't bring myself to click on the next episode. I don't know what it is. I just see one episode and I say that's that. It was cool, and I don't have an incentive to like watch the next one. And it's the same with this episode. I've watched the first one. It was cool as shit. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a reason to watch more.
I think the second episode is actually better. Because the first episode, that's the one where they go to... She goes to the murder town, right? Where they like... She goes to this town where murder isn't like criminally penalized, but all the citizens will punish you because they like live in a civil way.
That's the first episode.
Yeah. That's a good episode. I like it. It's got like a lot of good stuff. The second episode though is fucking badass. Did you watch it?
No.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sure the other episodes are just as great, if not better. Right? I just get the feeling that like when I watch one episode, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm sure there are better episodes, but I just get the feeling like I've seen what the show is all about.
I know what you mean.
And it's going to repeat itself. I mean, in different ways.
Sure. Like, I like the idea that this show tells a complete story every episode. And that you never really know what you're going to get in the next one. Like, it could be an episode where Kino is just kind of roaming around, having a grand old time. It's very chill. It's very, like, kind of relaxed. But then you'll have an episode like the second one where it's like this badass Coliseum, like, tournament thing where Kino is murdering, like, everything. She doesn't actually kill anyone. But she just, like, she conquers, like, this fucking Coliseum. And, like, the one person she does murder, she, like, kills the king of this Coliseum because she hates the society so much.
Interesting.
It's like really cool, and then she just bounces.
See, you kind of got me interested in watching the second episode, but I'll watch the second episode and I'll go like, yeah, I've seen it all.
Yeah, and like you'll keep watching it, like you'll watch like the third episode and be like, okay, now I've seen it all. You know what I mean? Because I agree, it's kind of like there's not much to it beyond like what you've seen. It's hard to describe, like, because it's conclusive per episode, you don't feel much of a drive to watch more.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
And overall, I just don't understand the point of this. Like,
the point is is just he's traveling and discovering new lands, locations, and
that's not what
exploring
I mean.
That.
What is the point of the remake?
Oh.
Like if I watched the original and I discovered that like maybe this is telling like stories that like weren't in the original, like maybe these are like maybe this 12 episode
sure
season
it's a remake? Are you sure about that?
That's what everyone is like saying. I don't know 100%, but
yeah, because there's no reason to remake the original.
Yeah, like I also don't know. Maybe there's something at the end of the original or something. That's like why they couldn't make a sequel. Maybe she like crashes the bike or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could be a
though.
prequel.
That too. Like who knows? I'm imagining like best case scenario. This is adapting chapters of the light novel series that were never adapted in the original anime. What I don't want this to be is literally remaking episodes of the original show, because then what is the fucking point? Because it doesn't look as good. Yeah. Like it's I don't know.
It doesn't have as strong of a aesthetic as the first one.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
first one feels very unique.
Yeah, very. So I don't know. I got mixed feelings on this one. Like I said, I am more interested in watching the original Kino as opposed to watching more.
Oh, if it's a remake, just watch the original.
Oh yeah, that's why I want to watch the original, because I'm like I have to find out. I have to know.
But me not knowing that, I'm gonna say it's a perfectly fine show.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's basically it. All right, moving on. Konohana Kitan.
Okay. I watched 3 minutes and I was bored. The whole time I was watching the little fox lollies, I was thinking I could be watching Garo right now.
Yeah, I still
that's
blame you. This is not a good show. Because this is very much this is very moe, and it's very much kind of like it's closer to my kind of aesthetic, but
yeah, of course you fucking
it's
faggot.
so yeah, of course. It's so fucking like boring and dumb, and all the characters are the worst character. They have nothing going on. The show has it's just nothing. I watched the first episode, like the whole thing, and I was like, okay, what the fuck did I just watch? Like nothing happened. If you want to watch a good version of this show, there's a show called Hanasaku Iraha, where this girl like moves into her grandmother's inn, and she has to like become an innkeeper, and it's actually really entertaining for the first 13 episodes, and those 13 episodes are like 10 out of 10. They're fucking incredible. The rest of the show is garbage. But like I highly recommend those 13 episodes, because that's basically what the show is. There's this girl, she moves into an inn. She doesn't really know how to be an inn person, and the people who are working at the inn, some of them are kind to her, some of them are mean to her. None of it matters. They're all just cute lolly girls. But they're also animals for some reason. I don't know. There was a cute scene with a little girl and they're like walking around at one point. That's it. There's nothing memorable about this show.
Who cares, right? Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. Next is a show that was extremely interesting. Children of the Whales. The second episode of this just came out today, and so I was very happy about that.
Yeah, I watched the second episode too.
Yeah, because I just had to, because I was like, this is so interesting.
It's interesting, yeah.
Like, I don't know if I think it's good. It has problems, but like, I don't know. I'll try my best to explain this, because it's a weird one. It's about a colony of people who live on this giant mud whale that is floating across the seas of sand. And like the main character is a person who basically is documenting the society of this whale mud boat thing. And like in the first episode, as they're going across the seas of sand, they discover like an island, like a sand sea island, and they're like, oh, let's check it out. Maybe it'll have materials for us to scavenge and stuff. Because the world of this show is so fucking well realized. Like every 5 seconds, I'm like, well, that's really cool. That's really clever. That's like really interesting. So they go on this island. They find this like girl. The main character finds this girl. For every island that they've come across, there's never been life. So it's really weird that there's this girl here. And that's pretty much like the first episode. They question the girl, and you're finding like the girl has like no emotions, and what the first episode more focuses on is the world and like how interesting it is and the aesthetics of the place. And because like holy shit, the aesthetics.
Yeah.
The backgrounds look incredible. I don't even know how to describe what the backgrounds look like. They look like a very unique style of like paint art.
I think at times like the desert aesthetic like got a bit old.
Yeah, it's a little brown.
It's that's what I was going to say. It's like they switch it up quite often, I think. But at the beginning, in the first episode, like the whole aesthetic was just brown.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but it was kind of like okay, I've seen it now.
And I love the look of the sand too. I like the way it like moves around like an ocean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree with you. That's actually a great example of a good use of CG. The CG sand flowing around.
It's
like
a good use of CG because you don't even notice it. You just you just like you just accept it that it's a part of the world and it's not like intrusive.
Yeah, it's cool. Like just the way it looks, it's just cool.
It has a lot of potential, this show, I think.
It does.
But it has a lot of potential to go down, I think, too.
That's my biggest concern. Like, the first episode, I think, set up a lot of stuff, but I wasn't too interested in the main character, and for the most part, most of the characters were kind of whatever, because they're not nearly as interesting as the world. And the second episode focuses entirely on the plot, and I didn't really find it to be that interesting. Like,
really, I like the second episode almost more because I was kind of bored in the first one with all the explaining they did.
Yes, exactly. I think structurally the second episode is better, but like what the second episode sets up, I'm not interested in.
Oh, you're just not into it then?
Yeah, like, yeah, I guess so. Because I think this is gonna be like a romance kind of thing.
Yeah, it has that element, but I don't think it's a romance focused show.
I agree. Yeah,
I think it's going to be very plot heavy.
Yeah.
Because
you know what?
From the very beginning, it has a lot of these this terminology and words that you never heard. They're made up words for magic and a bunch of shit.
Yeah, it's like fiction bullshit.
Yeah.
Fluff.
Reminds me of Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah.
The Seath and whatever. I don't know if you play that. But yeah, I like the second episode more because it introduces this new character, right? And it's out of nowhere. They tell you that this island has sort of a prison.
Yeah, that's right.
And they release some boys from the prison. And there is this badass looking guy.
Some gassy ass boys.
Gassy boy. And in the first few minutes of his introduction, you immediately know what his goal is.
Yeah, he was awesome.
What kind of guy he is. He just wants to get out of here because he thinks people are stuck here and are not willing to explore enough. And he just steals the girl. And the main guy,
the main character, he just
hops
steals
on a boat and says, "Fuck it, let's just go, dude."
Yep.
From very first few minutes of his introduction, you know nothing about him.
Yep.
They don't talk about him before that, and that's what I liked about it. It's adventurous. It gets to the point. It's just like, let's fuck it, just go. You know what he's about. That's it.
I like that too. My problem with that is when they got captured and got sent back to the Whale Island.
Wait.
And that got kind of boring.
Wait a minute.
Because blue hair guy steals main character.
Just a second. Let me see how many episodes of this I watched. Because I don't remember that.
Sure.
Was that in the third episode, or what?
I believe that was the second episode. There's only 2 episodes out right now.
Oh, I only watched the first episode.
Oh, so you probably like the second half.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
I thought I watched 2 episodes, and I thought the first episode was kind of like
establishing
the world, and the second episode was about that.
Yeah.
I just completely forgot that I only watched the one episode.
I thought that was weird because I was like, is that in the second episode? I mean, I guess it kind of is. Yeah, that part is good.
I guess because of the first like half, I got very bored and it dragged out for me, so I thought I watched 2 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Because the very beginning of the first episode is like the part where they're like sinking a coffin into the sand.
Yeah.
They're like doing like a burial ritual. I was just gonna say, yeah, he steals the main character and the girl, and he leaves on a boat to go back to the island to go explore some shit, and that's where I think the first episode ends. But then in the second episode, almost immediately, they get captured by like the boat whale people, and they just go back to the whale island.
Oh,
and it's
that's
like,
so boring.
Yeah, I see what you thought. You thought it was gonna be like a adventure, like they're just going, like they're just gonna go.
I thought in the second episode they're going to start the episode with the arrival on that island.
Yeah, no.
And the whole episode is going to be full of new revelations.
What the first
just
5
adventure.
minutes are like that. They go into like the depths of that island and they discover this weird creature that's like sucking the emotions from the main blue hair girl that the main character discovers.
That's interesting.
But like, it is interesting. But like I said, then they get captured and they go back to the whale island and they just kind of fuck around on there. The blue hair guy and the main character get thrown in prison, but then the main guy has to leave.
So the whale people follow them there and they capture them?
Yeah, because they see them leave, and they're like, "Oh, I guess we'll just follow them."
It's weird that they follow them because
it's very weird. Yeah,
I got the impression that they're not like too adventurous and kind of afraid of like going into like, unknown places.
It's kind of like The Giver.
What?
It's kind of like The Giver, like the book. Okay, never mind. It's a book where there's like a society of people, and if you leave the society, they're never gonna follow you because they're too afraid to go.
Okay.
Like into the outside world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories like that. The Giver is just like that's like a big part of it. Anyways.
Interesting. No, I thought they were not going. I didn't even think they were going to follow because when they first arrived to the island, they were very quick. Like they explored it a little bit and just went home.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like, I do think it will turn into more of an adventure story. And the end of the second episode gives this impression like the show is about to go like completely 180 on its tone, which could be really fun.
I'll watch the second episode for sure.
I think it's about to go like super dark, which could be really fun. That'd be kind of awesome.
Oh, that's nice.
But I don't know. Who fucking knows?
Okay.
So yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much all we have to say on that show. It's cool. It's interesting. We should watch it.
We talked a lot about this show.
Yes. Next is the Ancient Magus' Bride, or the Magician's Bride, or Mahotsukai no Yome.
I watched your video, and I thought it was Magus.
Is it Magus? I have no fucking idea. I've never heard that word in my life.
Anyway, Mahotsukai no Yome.
Yeah, sure. Why not? This is probably the best show of the season.
This is the best show of the season.
Yeah, for me, it's tied.
A doubt in my mind.
It's tied between this and one other show. But this show, my only problem with it, because it is amazing. This show is incredible. My only problem with it is that I absolutely refuse to watch any more of it until it's done.
Exactly. So I'm completely the same. I watched 2 episodes.
I only watched one. I only watched one because I'm like, fuck it, I'm not waiting.
The second episode is great.
I'm sure it is. I'm not saying it's not good. It's just like I don't feel like it. I'm gonna wait.
Before we get into the description and what the show is all about, I'm just going to say it has the best opening song I've heard this year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is.
Oh
it is really great.
God, the opening song is so good.
It's so powerful.
I listened to it like hundreds of times.
Awesome.
It's fucking great. I love the opening song. It's probably going to be my favorite of the year.
I love everything about this show, dude. Like, it's fucking... When I watched the original 3 OVA episodes, I didn't know it was gonna be like a romance thing. But like, once I watched the first episode of the TV show and they really sold me on that, I was like, that is fucking awesome. Like, oh my gosh.
We talked about this, but I like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But
So we
didn't
should
give me-
explain. If you
Yeah.
if you don't know,
Okay.
originally this came out as a like 3-episode prequel OVA series thing starting early last year. It just concluded a few like weeks ago with the 3rd episode. And then they just started for this season a 24-episode series. Like TV anime. So that's what we're talking about when we say there's actually like 6 episodes out right now, or 5. I can't do math.
Yeah, and the 3-episode OVA is a prequel, but it feels kind of like a flashback.
Yeah. It's
Like,
pretty weird.
It's already established that she's with this big fucking, what is his
Goat
name?
Demon Lord. I called him Goat Demon Lord.
Goat Demon Lord guy, and she's
Yeah.
kind of like telling her backstory to him. And that's the OVA. Anyway, can you
which is
explain what the show
nice,
is all
but-
about?
So it's about this fucking awesome girl who like sells herself to slavery, and like this awesome goat demon lord buys her because he likes her, basically. Like buys her as a slave. And he wants to train her to be a magical like apprentice girl, like Harry Potter like style magic. Except more badass.
Yeah.
And like it's just that show. But on top of her being an apprentice, he also wants her to be his bride. So it's like romantic and like interesting because she's like learning all this magic shit, and like it's just fucking like wonderful. Everything in this show feels like the aesthetic that it's going for. Like it's what's like that German word for like something that is every aspect of the show contributes to the whole perfectly. Like that's what the show is. The music, the animation, the character designs, everything in this show is magical. It's wonderful. I love it.
Basically, it's a very comfy show.
Yeah.
With likable characters, great music, fantastic visuals. I'm not talking about the animation. I'm just talking about the aesthetic. And yeah, it's just has these very likable characters that you just love watching.
Yeah. I love like all the side characters too. In the OVA, I don't know if they got to this in the anime yet. In the OVA, she has like this dog that like transforms into a human. That guy's cool. There's like a maid character who doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
She's interesting. I love like the fairy creatures. It's hard to even describe what is awesome
it's hard
about
to
this
sell
show.
it. It's hard to sell it. But it has this magical feeling to it.
Yes.
Right?
It's
Everything
so good.
everything they show, everything that is like connected to magic and this world looks so interesting and inventive. Or even if it's even fairies look fucking incredible in this show. Like how many times have you seen fairies? A lot of times, right?
Yeah.
But fairies in this world feel different and unique.
They remind me of the fairies in Berserk during the one arc with they like eat children or whatever.
Kind of reminds me of that, yeah.
Yeah, like that's like the feel they kind of remind me of because they're kind of like dark fairies.
Maybe I gave a bad example, but I was going to say that all the magic that is introduced in this world feels like a wonder. You just love watching it.
Oh, no, it's relatable to that Berserk arc, but like it's not like at all relatable to it at the same time because it's so unique and interesting. Like everything is so original feeling, like it was handcrafted by someone.
Yeah, and to the core,
wonderful.
This is why I watch anime. Like I want to see cool and interesting shit happening.
Yeah.
And this is a chill series with likable characters, and you see something interesting every few minutes, and you're like, oh, that's cool.
It's very dense. Like that's another one of my favorite things. Like I never felt bored. Like watching the first episode of this. I felt like 24 perfect minutes, you know?
Yeah.
It was great. Oh my gosh, it's so fucking good. Yeah, go ahead.
Wit Studios goes fucking hard with the presentation. Like
my God,
soundtrack, the visuals, even like I said, the opening.
Mm-hmm.
It really goes hard on the presentation. It's not half-assed.
Oh no, not at all. It's amazing. But yeah, that's all I have to say on it. Like, it's just good. Like, it's hard to even like say like, because I think this is gonna be a great show to go over once it's finished. But as it is, I mean, everyone's kind of on the same boat, I guess.
I was just going to say that the goat demon head guy, he's
Lord.
a little creepy.
A little creepy, but I like him. I like that he's creepy.
I mean, he's still lovable. He's like creepy in an endearing way, but it's just
he's like the Grim Reaper from Billy and Mandy.
Do
you know what that show is?
That show. Yes, but I completely forgot about it. Holy shit. You just opened the floodgates of nostalgia in my head right now. God.
Billy! Mandy! That's a good show. Like, I actually really like that show.
Also, the girl, the fucking woman in the second episode.
Uh-huh.
I think she was introduced in the OVAs. The girl who wraps all the shit in that crow and sends it.
Yeah! That was
that
awesome.
girl is fucking waifu, okay?
Oh, she is. Oh, yeah, definitely.
She's so hot.
Yeah.
I love her.
Oh my gosh. It's that was a great opening scene too, like to the series. Like it's just fucking cool how she puts all the stuff in a bag and the bag shrinks and she puts the bag in the crow and the crow's like rib cage closes and like it magically turns into a real crow. It's fucking cool.
But you would think like when you saw that, right? That this is like the only way of sending out messages and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you would think this is like how they communicate, like they mail each other. But in the I don't know if it's the first or second episode, but the goat demon head just makes a fucking bird out of paper.
Oh really?
Did you see that? Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He doesn't send
gosh.
the crow. He just writes a message, and fucking a bird forms out of the paper and just flies away.
That's awesome.
It's fucking great. Yeah.
There's so much interesting shit. Like everything that happens in this show is like so like what the fuck? That was awesome.
Anyway,
but
it's
they just gloss
fucking
over
great.
it. Yeah.
We both love it.
Yeah.
Also, listen to the opening song. It's the best opening song.
It's amazing. So, this next show, this is the biggest surprise of the season, and this is actually my favorite show of this entire season. Net-Juu no Susume. Or in English, they translate it to Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
Yeah, I know which one it is.
Loved every fucking second of the first 2 episodes. This is a show that I looked at the fucking like cover of, and I'm like, no, please no. And the fact that it has MMO in the title at all, I'm like, nope, it's gonna be a fucking like.
It was a huge surprise for me too.
We're going to like another world and it's gonna be a fucking crazy. No, that's not what it is at all.
I thought I was going to hate it.
This show, I was so prepared. This show, like, is about a 30-year-old woman who's fucking awesome and hot and amazing.
She's great.
She quits her job, like her stable career. I assume she like saved up money, like to quit her job.
She's a NEET.
Yeah,
but she's a NEET by choice. She chooses to be a NEET.
That's the way she describes it. She becomes a NEET. Like she embraces the lifestyle. Like that's going to be her profession. Like that's what she wants to do from now on. And like that alone is awesome. And she starts like playing this new MMO, and she gets into it, and she meets a bunch of friends, like especially this like pink hair girl, and like the way she makes friends is so relatable. If you've ever played a serious like online game at all and made friends online, like this is the most relatable representation of that I've ever seen. Like
it's super good.
it's fucking awesome. And top of that, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was going to interrupt you. Sorry.
On top of all of this, it's actually secretly a fucking brilliant romance show. Because, like, the pink hair girl that she meets in the MMO is actually this really hot, like, blonde hair guy in real life.
So she makes an avatar, right, for the game.
I didn't describe this. Go ahead.
And she made this super hot dude, right? It like how we guys make a cute girl. She made a super hot dude.
He looks like the standard, like, light novel protagonist.
Yeah, but the point it was trying to make is that she made a hot dude,
Yeah,
right?
it's funny that it is a standard light novel protagonist.
And she meets this super cute, like
Yes!
pink magical girl.
God. She's so fucking cute. It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
she's so adorable.
Oh, the dialogue. We complain about the dialogue in some of the other shows. The dialogue is perfect in this fucking show. And the way they represent it. And, like, this show is constantly aware of the fact that the characters are talking in an MMO. Even though it's showing the characters in, like, a realistic kind of way, as if we're, like, in the game, it's always saying, like, AFK, and, like, the way the characters communicate, you can tell they're doing it through, like, text. Like,
And I love the way that when the girl doesn't know what to write, it shows her in the real world. And she's, like, flustered, and she's like, oh shit, I said something bad. What do I say? What do I type?
it's so relatable. Like, with that moment of, like someone says something meaningful, and you're, like, sitting there at your keyboard, and you don't know what to type, and you're just, like, sitting there, like, or you type something and you delete it, and, like, oh my gosh, dude, it's
great.
so good.
Because you don't know who the pink magical girl is. I mean, you assume from the beginning that it's a hot dude that she's going to meet later. But still, it's just the concept of she having a guy avatar and talking to a girl in a video game, which is a guy in the real world. That whole concept is so interesting to me, and it was done cute as hell. Like, I wrote notes for this. I wrote notes for every anime just so I don't forget what I felt and what the show was. And the first 2 sentences of these notes are, I don't care what anyone says, this show is cute. Can I just watch this forever? I don't want to watch anything else ever. I felt like I could watch this forever. Seriously. I just didn't want to quit.
Me neither, dude. I'm so fucking, like, sad that episode 3 isn't out, like, now. I need more of it.
I'm completely invested. I'm invested into these 2 characters. I want to see them fucking blossom.
I love all the characters. Dude, the fucking guild is amazing. By the way, oh my god.
I think I didn't watch the second episode of this because I watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I didn't have time to get to the second episode. So I'm gonna be mad if you spoiled this one.
Okay. I have to think about what's in the second episode. Okay. It's just like the way you don't know, like, normally I think I would dislike a show like this because the gimmick would be all about the fact that she's playing a male character and she's interested in a girl in the game who's actually a male lead character, and, like, that would be the sole focus of the show. That's a really cool detail that I love, but it's really subdued. Like, that's not really the focus of the show. It's more on the 30-year-old girl, like, as a personality. It's more about, like, her getting closer to the guild members and making friends and stuff, and, like, months go by. Like, in the first episode, do they celebrate Christmas in the first episode?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like, months go by, I assume, like, in the show, like, at a time. It's crazy. And, like, the way that the main character, like, tries to work hard to get, like, a difficult item for the pink hair girl.
Oh, it's so adorable.
It is perfect, dude. Like, I don't know. It's so relatable to the way that people actually play MMOs. Like, I have never seen an anime actually accurately portray the reason people play these games. Like,
exactly.
Like Sword Art Online and all these bullshit, like, Iyashikei things. Not Iyashikei, the Isekai.
Because it focuses more on the fucking world aspect of the MMO, whereas a huge, like, appeal of the MMOs is that there are other people in it, and, like, the way you can make friends and meet new people and go on an adventure with them. And this show explores that.
It's fucking awesome. Like, I watched the first episode and I thought, like, this is amazing. Like, how is this so good? And then I watched the second episode and I was like, no, what the this is the best show of the season. Like, like
I didn't watch the second episode yet.
I know, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just saying, like, I see, like, unlike so many other shows we've talked about, I cannot even fathom a way that this show could get bad. Like, it could
I can.
It could just be the same thing we've already gotten, like in like a similar way, and like I love it.
I can see it being a cheesy rom-com.
Yeah.
Later on.
But I think the way they handle it so far that I've seen is super admirable and relatable beyond all else. Not trying to be funny I mean, it is funny, but it's not trying to be like cutesy about it. It's trying to be hyper relatable and very realistic.
And that romance scene on the tree, like for Christmas.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh. Like the way he waits for her and she just surprises him from
she comes out from the top of the
hugs him. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
Then she gives him a ink item so he can like color one of his items. Mm-hmm. And that in itself was super cute. I thought, god damn, that's a good gift.
Yeah, that's
right?
that's cool.
Even if she just bought it, who cares? It's like a good gift.
Oh, dude, they're fucking bracelets. I love that they're always wearing the bracelets. Like, she basically in the beginning of the first episode, like when they first meet, the main girl and the pink hair girl, when they first meet, the main character gets like this pair of bracelets that matches the pink hair girls that she's currently wearing, and pink hair girl is like, they're kind of shit bracelets. Like, are you sure you want to put those on? Like, don't worry about keeping them. But like, main girl sees that as like a symbol of their friendship and like refuses to take them off. Even
and she's
though
like, yeah, I'm not ever going to take these off.
Yeah, it's like, even though by the time like the Christmas scene comes up, like they probably encountered like significantly better gear, they refuse. They're still wearing the bracelets in the Christmas scene, and it's fucking amazing. Like, little details like that are so good.
Also, one of the things, I'm not too into voice actresses, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
I only think like Kana Hanazawa is good.
The Keion, Yui.
She's in every anime.
Yeah, she's done a ton of shit.
I noticed this voice actress in Bakuan, the motorcycle show. She plays the main character, and I thought her voice is super cute, so I looked her up. So I'm following like everything she does because I love her voice. And she voices Lily in this show.
I see.
So you can imagine how that is for me. Like, one of the most adorably looking characters has one of the most adorable voices. Mm-hmm. I love it. I think her voice is super cute. Yeah, that's true. The voice acting is really good, isn't it? Yeah, because like the main girl will have like those moments where she like is thinking, or like she'll go back into the real world and she'll be like scratching her head on something or whatever, and she'll have like a ton of really great moments and stuff. And maybe you haven't paid so much attention to like Lily's voice actress, because that's not what you usually do in anime. But try to pay attention next time. Her voice is like super unique. Now
that you point it out, I think I know what you mean. But yeah, I have to like, next time I watch it, I'll definitely like notice it more. It is very like, it's very grounded. Like, I remember it being like, it's very like cutesy, but it's relatably cutesy. It feels like I don't feel like I'm watching a Moe Blob character. I feel like I'm watching like a realistically cute person.
I just like that her voice sounds different than other anime.
That's true. That true. That too.
That true. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we braved pretty much. Oh my god, dude. I just this is what I've like, this fucking season, dude. We're gonna get to some other shows that, like, we talked about the Battle Royale one, but there's like one other that I thought was really good in a similar kind of way, where like I thought it was gonna be garbage, and it didn't just like surpass my expectations, it fucking like ripped them to shreds.
Yeah, it's the next one.
Oh god, no. Oh fuck no.
Oh, the next,
the next one, King's Game, the animation.
Isn't this the Battle Royale you were talking about?
No, the Battle Royale that with the fucking like Juuni Taisen.
Yeah, but you said there's another one, right?
Yeah, no. I said there's another show that surprised me. This was not one of them.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. Yeah, this one surprised me too because it gave me that very like trashy let's meet in an MMO and then meet in real life, and that's sort of what it is, but it's very genuine.
Yeah,
that's the word I'm searching for. Yeah, it's genuine.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to King's Game then. So,
Okay.
did you like this show?
I hate this show.
Okay, you were
I
thinking
absolutely.
I was
hate
so
it.
worried because I hate it too.
I hate it with passion.
Oh my god, good.
Oh, I hate this show so much.
It's the only interesting thing about this show is that it takes place in two timelines. Like half the show is a prequel kind of thing where I guess I'll go over the fucking plot. So basically there's this it's kind of like Another, the anime Another, where like this fucking text message thing gets sent to all the members of a class, and if they don't obey the instructions of the text message, it's the King's Game. You know, you've seen the King's Game in other anime. It's a Japanese thing. So like if they don't obey the instructions, like bad shit will happen. Like the kids will die or some shit. Usually they'll die. So like half the show is a prequel about how this originally happened to the main character, and the other half is how the main character like is in the future, because the main character survived that first encounter, and you're like watching how he survived it, and like he has to go through the King's Game again. But it fucking god damn it.
The characters look so bland.
Yeah.
That you cannot exactly tell if it's happening in the future.
That's true.
It's like so confusing because everyone in this show looks so fucking generic. The character designs are awful.
Yeah. I agree. They're really bad. Like they look like standard. Like that is the only way I can describe them. They're just standard.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They're anime characters. Like the most if you were to draw an anime character, those are the characters you would draw.
They're like a mix
I hate
between
this show
like
with a passion, dude.
they're like a mix between like something out of like a Death Note and like some like random PA Works show, but like in all of the worst ways. I don't know. This show just, it's a fucking mess. This is another one where like I don't mind the concept of it, but like the way it plays out is so convoluted and broken and messy that I can't do it, man. It's so bad.
I actually watched the second episode of this.
Me too.
Because I hated the first episode so much that I didn't know if my hate for it is justifiable. So I watched the second episode and I hated it even more. It pissed me off so much. I hated life. As I said in the beginning, like you watch a bad show, you can't just continue. I can't watch fucking Net-Juu no Susume or Mahotsuka no Yome after that. I just... it pissed me off so much, dude.
It's not good.
What the fuck was the red hair girl doing? Like, what is her character?
That's right. At the end of the second episode, I think, the red hair girl, the one who like, so this girl is like played out to be like the romantic interest of the fucking main character, and and
she's super nice, and you know from the beginning that she is not as nice as she.
Not even that she's not as nice. Herself. I thought like it was gonna go in more of the direction where she's gonna be like the first one to die and to be like really horrifying and grotesque.
Either that, which I would equally hate.
Yeah, like, but then she like, it's not even like I feel like I've seen this kind of character done better before, but not really because it's a terrible character idea. She basically is like, oh, I was actually evil and maniacal the whole time. And I'm gonna be the villain and force people to do stuff to make sure I survive. And like, it's just, she's so fucking annoying.
You know how I said in the, what was the Taisen show? The other battle royale one, basically. I mean, this is not battle royale, but you know.
Juuni Taisen. Yeah.
People die.
Yeah.
You know how I said that it more so pisses me off than gets any other emotion out of me when people die.
Yeah.
It's that, But in Juuni Taisen, I will not mind it as much because at least the characters are like interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Here, every character is like a bland high school dude.
Yep.
So sitting through the whole season of watching unlikable characters that I fucking hate die is the most unappealing idea to me. And more than anything, I hate watching people acting weird, like inhuman.
Oh
like,
yeah, definitely.
They're not. The feeling I get from this is that these characters are like fucking. They're just generic characters. I don't know how to put it. They're not people.
They're normal high schoolers, but they have like no personality or interests or passions. Like, and like, I think this would have been a better show if you keep like, I don't like the whole, I said like the prequel thing and like the two timeline situation is kind of interesting, but like, this would have been better if it was just like, the main character was like 30 working in like an office building and they got trapped and it was like all of his coworkers, like 30 of his coworkers, and they got trapped in like an office building and they all have like interesting quirks and stuff. And the main character is trying to do the same thing where like he has to like remember like how he went through this situation in his past, and how to get out of it again, except with totally different characters this time because they're all adults. That would be way more interesting. But like even then I don't think that would be like, I think at its max that would be like a 7 out of 10 show, you know?
Yeah. To elaborate on my previous point a little bit more, have you watched Mayo Iga?
I watched the first episode when it started airing last year? Yeah.
I hated that show, but
yeah.
I was told that it was supposed to be comedy, which I didn't get.
Yeah, me neither. That
was funny.
But now that I'm told that, I want to rewatch it because I didn't see it that way, and I just dropped it after the first episode.
But people basically act very weird, like inhuman, but it's supposed to feel that way because it's like a parody.
Yeah.
I don't think that this was supposed to be like a horror comedy.
Yeah.
I think it takes itself very seriously.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's very edgy on top of that. Like, pretentious and edgy.
I mentioned Another earlier, and that it reminds me of that show, like, so well. Have you seen Another?
No.
Okay. Another is actually, if you can believe it, worse than this. Like, because Another is all about, like, the death and, like, the cringy, like, angst and the what's the word I'm looking for? The edge. Like, it's about, like, the edginess of it.
Yeah.
But like it's very similar in feel, like where like it wants you to care about these characters that have like no personality, and you're just watching them die. And it's just bullshit.
Yeah, but I was going to say that in Mayo Iga, for example, like characters act very strange, but that's supposed to be like the comedy part.
Yeah.
In this one, they act very strange, and that really like makes me uncomfortable when watching anime. Like when people scream and they can't resolve shit with words. It just pisses me off more than anything else. I just hate watching dumb people like trying to solve a situation which could be solved with logic and like words, you know, normal communication.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's why I hate watching these characters.
It just I just felt like it gave me this impression like, is this what anime is now? I don't know.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Pissed me
I'm
off.
sure this is going to be one of the popular shows.
Oh, definitely. Well, I don't know. It could go either way. I don't know.
I hope people realize it's trash.
There are good shows. Like, oh my god, dude. I crave for Net-Juu no Susume to get popular because it's got all the ingredients.
Maybe this show won't get popular only because there are so many good shows.
That's
this
what I mean.
season.
Like, there's a lot of good shows. Anyways, that's all I had to say on that one. Yeah. Next show, I didn't watch Robo Masters the animated series. I could not find this show anywhere.
Me neither.
It seems like no one has subtitled it yet, so fuck it.
Yeah.
Next is Sengoku Night Blood. This show fucking sucks.
Okay, good to hear because I only watched 2 minutes and I already hated life.
I made it 5 minutes in and I hated life. Probably a little more than you did, because I made it further in. It sucks.
This show has absolutely nothing that I find appealing.
Same.
I already hated the title. Sengoku period is not interesting to me.
Yeah.
And combined with Sengoku Night Blood, sounds like taking a dump.
Yeah, it's a terrible name.
Then I hated everything about the first 40 seconds. They were horribly directed.
Oh yeah.
It just looks like garbage, and it was so uninteresting, which I don't know how they managed to do that because it was action.
All I remember is, like, they fucking, like, take this random background, like, extra girl, and she gets teleported into the past.
Yeah,
And,
I was going to say.
Like, that was the weirdest part about it. I was like, I thought that was gonna be, like, a whatever, like, oh, it's just some random girl. No, that's the main girl. Like, what the fuck?
I was going to drop it right there and there.
Yeah.
When I saw the first 40 seconds. So then,
man.
I watched just a little bit more to see if maybe I'm misjudging this. And it goes into this modern Japan setting, right?
Uh-huh.
So I thought, okay, maybe I misjudged the show. And the girl gets transported to the old age of boring in the first minute.
Uh-huh.
And the first thing that happens is a pretty boy that does a super attack and blows all the troops off. And then he crosses sword with another pretty boy.
Oh, God,
and then
so
I just
bad.
stopped. I cannot watch this. Fuck
I was
this.
like, I was so in awe by the shit I was seeing that I was like, what the fuck? Is this show even capable of explaining what the fuck just happened? And then I realized, like, oh, no, it's not. It's just gonna assume that I'm okay with, like, everything that's going on, and I'm not. Fuck this show. It's so
Here's
bad.
the thing. Like, you watched 5 minutes, you said, right?
Yeah, about.
I'm sure someone is going to think, how the fuck can you judge a show after 2 or 5 minutes? Here's
If
the
the
thing,
show
retards.
insults me that much after 5 minutes, it doesn't deserve my time.
If the first 2 minutes of the show, which are supposed to be the best, like, 2 minutes, they are supposed to, like, grab your attention in the first few seconds, right? If that looks like shit and it's badly directed,
Yep.
why would I sit through the whole show of that?
Yep.
I'm not even willing to give it a chance with if the first few seconds are insulting.
Yep. It's garbage.
There's that. Let's move on.
Yeah. This next show is really interesting. Like, I don't know if it's good, but it's very unique. It's a Shoujo Shumatsu Ryoko, or Girl's Last Tour. I really like the aesthetic this one is going for, but I'm a little worried it's gonna be very boring. The first 2 episodes were really cool, like, just because you're introduced to these characters and the world of this one. So let me explain this one. Basically, it's 2, like, military girls in, like, this badass, like, tank thing roving around.
They are lollies. Let's
Yes.
just call them what they are. They're
Okay,
like
you're right.
the most lolly characters.
They are the goopiest lollies I've ever seen. They're super goopy lollies, super cute, and they're in, like, this post-apocalyptic war area. You don't really know if they've been in battle themselves, or if they are coming back from a battle, or if they're, like, lost. Like, none of this is really clear.
I don't think it's. I don't think they tell you if other humans exist in the show.
They
Are
do.
there other humans?
They at one point they show a few times in the first, like, episode that the main, like, black hair girl can read, but it's like this, like, weird language, like future language thing. And at one point they come across this factory that has Japanese writing written on it, and she says it's written in, like, old language. So I would assume, and given the fact that they're dressed in military gear, and the blonde hair girl seems very familiar with weapons, I don't know. I see what you're saying. Like, maybe they are, like, the only humans left or something. But
it just gave me a feeling that this show is all about these 2 girls, and we're not going to see, like,
any
other
humans again. Yeah.
That's the feeling I
It
got.
could go for that, but
just because it like committed to its, like, desolate, like, solitude and all that shit. it committed to that fully in the first 2 episodes. Like, these girls are alone, they're on their own, and that's it. Yeah. That's why I thought maybe we wouldn't like meet any other characters. But
I have no idea. This show, what it reminds me of, although it's not nearly as good for a lot of reasons, it very much gives me similar feelings to Made in Abyss. That feeling of like a desolate, like kind of dark environment that these cool characters go through. But
I get what you're saying, but Made in Abyss, for example, there are only moments of that.
Yeah. And Made in Abyss has like 1,000 other things going on that are super interesting.
Yeah, and this show as a whole is just that.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I like that the show is so honed in on this one aesthetic.
I like it too.
But it is a little boring. It is a little bit like, there were moments where I was like starting to kind of drift in and out of consciousness. But I love the world so much. I want to keep watching this one. I hope it's not like it seems like interesting things are coming. Like, we're going to start seeing some interesting plot developments, and the world of the show is so much more interesting than it initially lets on. Like, because at the end of the second episode, they get to like this sewer area where a bunch of like the snowy water is like being evaporated and like it's flowing out of the sewers.
Wait a minute. I don't think I watched the second episode.
Oh, okay.
No, you can talk about it. I'm
not gonna like spoil anything. Basically, they get to this area.
I'm just making sure.
That looks like, basically, they get to like an old Japanese town, but they look up and suddenly, it looks like there's a bunch of like layers of the towns stacked on top of each other. Mm-hmm. Almost as if, you know, Futurama.
No.
Okay.
I don't watch that. Maybe like
how about
Dark Souls?
How about yes, actually kind of like Dark Souls. But it's done in a way where like the old town is just underneath the new town, and they kept building the new town and the advanced town on top of the old one. Like, that's the way I don't know. You don't really get a good shot of it, but like just the way it looks is very interesting, and it gives you an impression that like these girls aren't just like a couple hundred years in the future. They're like 50,000. Like we're like way beyond like civilization being okay.
And that's what's so interesting about it, because I didn't get that from the first episode. That's the question that kept popping into my head.
Yeah.
Like, where is this taking place? What is the year? What happened here?
Yeah.
These questions. That's why I thought maybe we wouldn't ever meet any other characters, because that's it. They're just 2 girls wandering the earth and searching for food and stuff like that.
I
think the show is okay. I think the show is like kind of good.
Yeah.
It's very comfy.
Uh-huh.
That's the reason you watch this show. It's just to get comfortable and watch these 2 cute characters.
It's like a dark comfy. Like like you're on the edge of your seat, but you're also
it's
like
very fucked
sunk.
in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's also very human.
I'm super curious about these girls' backstory. I think that'll answer a lot of questions. Like, if they ever get to it. Because, like, why are these girls, like, if these 2 girls just, like, woke up in this environment, like, do they have memories of their past?
I would prefer to never get a backstory.
Yeah, I don't want, like, a backstory episode. I just want them to, like, give us hints and pieces as they talk.
I don't want anything. I just want the show to be that. Yeah, just fucking go from episode to episode. Find new locations. Maybe find some fucking... explore some lore of the world.
Sure.
But not like a concrete... this is what happened to the world.
Keep it obscure.
This is how...
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I don't think it should go too far. I want to know a little bit, because at this point, you're right. It could be that these girls just woke up in this environment together, and they have no idea why the fuck they're together, and like why they're here at all. Or it could be that they're like the last survivors of this grand battle. I don't know.
That's how it looks like to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's
and
super cool.
I don't want them to explain shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Completely fine with it.
Yeah. It's good.
I was going to say it's not a show I would recommend to everybody.
But if it seems like your thing, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, it's something I am willing to watch personally to unwind, and if that sounds like your thing, I recommend watching it.
Yeah, because it's not just like a comedy kind of unwind. It's very
no,
different.
it's just very calm. It's very calm and chill.
Yep.
And it brings a smile to your face.
Oh, and the OP is wonderful.
I didn't get to the OP, I think.
Oh, OP's only in the second episode. That's right.
Yeah.
They dab.
Oh, shit.
The two main characters dab the OP.
Seriously? They dab?
Yeah.
You sure? It's not just like a vague
Nope.
thing they do?
So it's like a brief moment here. Let me like look it up. Girls last. So this is gonna be like the image I show when we talk about this one. Yeah, here it is. How do I fucking like?
But what I really liked about the first episode is the two girls like discover this plane.
Yeah.
And then one of them is like super into the idea that this plane can fly.
There you go.
Okay, let me see that. Oh shit, they really dab. And it's a good dab.
They really dab.
They commit to the dab.
It's in sync and everything. It's got a really upbeat OP, which I think actually is really cool because it contrasts, you know.
Yeah. So,
anyways,
they think this plane will fly, which is super cute in itself.
Yeah.
But they find rations in it,
and
they're like chocolate flavored rations that have like 5 sticks in them.
Oh, that's
right. 5 pieces.
Oh my god.
And then each of them eat 2, and there's one left. And one of the girls just fucking points the rifle at the other one's head and says, "No, bitch, this one is mine. Back off."
Yep.
And it was presented in this super serious way.
Oh my god, I seriously thought it was about to go like super grimdark and like she was about to like betray her.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
That's what I felt.
I was like, no, what? This is gonna be a cutesy adventure where we go across this dark environment. No.
But then immediately after that, it just plays it off as like a funny thing.
I'm worried that's like a hint for what's to come.
Nah, I'm not.
I don't know. That was really dark, the way they played it off. So, we're back. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. Some guy, like, knocked on Memo's door and fucked up everything. But Girls Last Tour is good. Whatever. Dabs, OPs, it's all good.
It's a good show, if not a little boring.
Sure. It's just boring enough. Not too boring, you know? Anyways, moving on. Tsukipro The Animation.
I didn't give this one even a chance.
Good.
Pretty Boys.
It's bad.
Shitty yaoi,
it's really fucking bad. It's so fucking
and the music
bad.
Tag.
It's so fucking awful. Skipping
All kinds of nope from me.
Yeah, nope out of 10. This next one is the other one that surprised the fuck out of me. Two-Car.
This one?
Yes, I really like this show. Now, very specifically, I like the first episode of this show. I think the second episode is very bad, actually. Like, I was shocked at how quickly it just kind of tanked. I'm gonna give it one more shot because the first episode was so strong. But like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this is just kind of a one and done kind of thing. I don't know what it is.
I only watched the first. I didn't like the show.
I don't blame you. I don't think this was amazing, but like, this reminded me of like, I mean, it was very relatable to Bakuan, like you were saying. Like it's.
Oh, I didn't get. I know it felt like that what it was going for, but I didn't get the same like feeling out of it.
Exactly.
At all.
It was totally different, but it's very much like a club kind of thing, and there's like girls and a race kind of thing, but it's not about the club. It's more like about the girls, and what the show kind of is like a competitive like love triangle romance thing where the two main girls are trying to like race their way into their like their interests heart like competitively, and that's interesting.
But the interest is their coach, and he doesn't have a face.
Yeah, it's really weird. But what was so amazing to me about this is the way they like it's just the directing and the layout of the first episode. Because it starts off very normal. You basically starts off on like a race. Like we jump into a race. They introduce all the racers. They all have like a super crazy gimmick, like a stupid gimmick. It's hilarious. Like two of them are just like Lolitas. Two of them are like
I thought it was kind of lame, actually.
two of them are like straight up lesbians. Two of them are like a sub and dom relationship. It's hilarious. I was eating this up. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is stupid. I love it. It is dumb, but I liked how dumb it was. And then, like, the race starts, and the two main girls, like, are losing, and I thought it was going to be more like, oh, they lose this race, and this is, like, our intro race, and they're going to work as a team or something to get better, and then we'll have a race at the end of the show that'll, like, reflect this. But, as it turns out, in the middle of this race, we cut to, like, a bit of the backstory about how these girls, like, know each other, and, like, how they're like childhood friends
while
and everything.
they're racing, there are a bunch of flashback sequences, basically.
And normally I think this would be really hard to do and it wouldn't work. But the way they do it, it just works. Like, I love the way it cuts back and forth. And as we know more and more about them, we see the girls advance further and further in the race. And I was very happy, like, when they won the race, like, first place, and I found the reason, like, because they want to win to make it to this competition so they can impress the person they really have a crush for, like, their coach. It gave me, like, this really strong emotional reaction, like, yes, I want them to win, this is awesome. Okay. But then the second episode is just kind of boring. The second episode goes back in time a little bit, like, to where all of the characters who are racing in that race arrive on the island, and, like, this is before the race, but, like, not to the part they're showing in, like, it's so fucking weird. It makes no sense, like, the way they just jump into this part of the story, and you're, like, watching them all, like, rev their bike things and, like, get closer to each other. It's fucking weird. I was like, because I was expecting after that first episode, like, for us to just jump into, like, them, like, the two main characters going to the next, like event thing to race for their lover, and, like, have this grand epic competition. But, like, I guess the show wants to take its time or something. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
I'm so sad. This show made me sad. Like,
it gave me a feeling like I've seen everything this show has to offer from just watching the first episode.
Sure. I can understand that.
It's just a cute girls doing cute things show. And it's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's not something I'm interested in.
It is a
personally.
cute girls doing cute things show from, I think, episode 2 on. But what I was interested in was not the cute girl thing. I was interested in, like, the idea that that the first episode was introducing all these characters and that all of it meant nothing and we were just going to go on to, like, another race or something in the next episode.
Here's the thing. I don't mind cute girls doing cute things, as you can tell from the previous shows I like.
Sure.
Like Blend S, for example.
Yeah.
But the things they are doing have to actually be interesting to me.
Sure.
Like, for example, Bakuan.
Yeah.
You said before. They commit so much to the gimmicks.
Yeah.
That these girls really like their bikes.
Yeah.
And that's the whole show. It's not like in other shows, like, they drink coffee the whole fucking episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not making fun of K-On! I know that's the
Oh, no. I thought you were making fun of the, is the order a rabbit?
Anyway.
But whatever.
I hated the race. I hate the cars, how they look.
The
girls were not interesting to me.
Yeah.
I was bored the whole time, and it was not interesting.
I could see that.
The directing I found to be horrible in the races. I thought that looked like shit.
I think
character designs look very generic.
Yeah. I think everything in the first episode was completely accidental. I don't think they intended to make that as exciting as I thought it was. I think I'm just delusional and saw something that literally doesn't exist. And if I were to go back and if I were to go back and watch the first episode again, I would be like, what the fuck was I thinking? But
here's the thing.
I'll never forget how awesome I thought the first episode of this show was. So
I don't really strongly hate anything about it either.
Yeah.
I just think it's like a very below average show in almost every aspect. Like the characters, the animation, the directing, and even for our cute girls doing cute things, right? It's not something that stands out for me.
Sure.
I just thought it was very below average show.
Now, I do like the car things. They're motorcycle car things they're driving. They're like sidecars. They're weird. I've never seen these things in my life, like raced like this.
I hated how they look.
I think they look ridiculous, and I kind of like that about it. So what it is, one girl is on like the motorcycle part of it, and she's like racing the car like normal, and the other girl goes back and forth on like different sides of the car to like shift weight to help during the race. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just dumb. But
It's so stupid.
It just depends if you see that dumb in a good way or a bad way. I just didn't dig it.
Now, one thing one small detail I actually really loved were the announcer girls.
Oh my god, they were so annoying.
I loved them. I loved them because the girl that was like shouting constantly, I think her voice acting was really funny. And there's this gimmick they keep doing, even in the second episode, where she's actually like a very laid back, very like, I fucking hate the world kind of character, very edgy. But then her partner will go, okay, 3, 2, 1, go, and suddenly she just goes into announcer mode. That's a funny idea. I really like that as a character trait. But yeah, I could totally see how someone wouldn't see anything I just mentioned in the first episode.
Yeah.
Maybe I was on some kind of weird drugs that I wasn't aware I was on.
Yeah, you probably were. Nah, I don't think so. Just not for me.
Sure. Oh yeah. I don't know. This is a weird experience. Let's move on.
Let's get to the last one. I'm so tired.
Oh yeah, it is the last one. We're fucking almost done, dude. Oh yes. Urahara. Now this is a weird fucking show.
My first sentence in the notes is, this was weird.
Yeah.
What is this about? I didn't watch the whole show. I didn't watch the whole episode.
I'm not even sure I can tell you. So, there's these 3 girls who are really good friends. They work in some kind of store. I think it's a clothing store. They're not really clear. And suddenly, a fucking, like, monster invasion takes over the world. And
I didn't get that far.
It's fucking crazy. And a little girl pops out of this fucking alien creature thing with a talking fried shrimp. And
What?
I'm not fucking kidding. I'm not kidding. And gives the girls like magical powers, and they have to fight off these aliens. It's fucking insane. And when they kill the aliens, they turn into donuts.
Damn, I need to give this one more of a chance, I think.
I don't know if you should, because everything
I only watched the first 7 minutes, and here's what I thought.
Oh my god.
I like the pretty colors.
Yeah.
It's what initially drew me in.
Uh-huh.
And while I was watching, it constantly intrigued me with the pleasant visuals and interesting but odd directing.
Yes, I agree.
The directing was very, like, odd but interesting.
It had lots of cut like shots, right? Like split view shots. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it did.
It's remind me a little bit of Kuzo no Honkai.
Yes, yeah, that definitely. That style, but done better.
But this one was a little bit more like, it committed more to that gimmick.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I didn't care about about a single thing that was actually happening.
Yeah,
I got bored within 7 minutes, which is weird because it looked interesting, but nothing that was said, that was actually happening, I didn't care about.
This is a show that I think the animators and the people who were like in charge of like the storyboarding were fucking on top of their game and did their absolute best. But there is no story. There's just not a story. The characters have like almost nothing to them. There's not really any writing. Like the character designs are fantastic, but like they have no traits. They have like nothing. And that's why it was like so hard for me to fucking describe the story, because I'm like, I don't even really know what happened in the first episode. I watched the second episode too. I think they just fight more things and they turn into a different piece of candy or something. Like I don't even fucking remember. It's so insane. It's like it's a totally different type of incomprehensible, because this show actually is comprehensible. Like I could tell what was happening, but there's no point. It's not trying to tell you anything. It's not trying to like convey a message or have any themes or even have a story. It just is what you are visually seeing. Like, that's it. It's just very weird.
Should I watch more?
I don't know. I don't think it's worth it.
Because in the 7 minutes I was watching it, I was constantly thinking, I could be watching Garo right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's worth my time.
You know what? Okay, here's what I thought. Because this show, the closest thing I can compare this to, and it's not even really that close, but it's got a similar level of, like, weirdness per second, except it's done really, really well. There's a show called Punchline.
I remember that, yeah.
It's a great show. I think it's a fantastically underrated show.
I didn't watch the whole
I love
season. I just watched 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think it leaves a strong impression. It's very memorable. And it's very similar where, like, it's got a crazy amount of shit going on, and, like, there's a lot of insane things and directing and all that. But Punchline has a really awesome story and some cool character moments and, like, all this interesting shit going on. And it looks fantastic the whole time, too. So, like, I would say watch that instead, because, I don't know, this just is too much, and it's not worth
Basically,
it.
I could be spending my time better than watching this.
On Garo.
What you're saying. Yeah.
Just watch Garo, yeah. Yeah, but oh my gosh, dude. I think we fucking did it.
Are we done?
I think we fucking did it. Oh.
Let's just, for the... let's do the final thing. Let's scroll through the whole list and just name the shows that you would recommend watching.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll go first, and then if there's any that I don't cover, then you say them.
Okay.
Blend S.
I agree.
Definitely. Check out the...
Blend S. Watch.
Never mind.
Watch Blend S for, like, trashiness. Be aware that it's like a trashy show.
It's just a comedy. Just go into it to have a fun, laughy time. Watch Garo, because you'll probably like it.
Yes, watch Garo.
Yeah.
Garo is good.
I think that's a solid recommendation. Definitely check out Houseki no Kuni.
I would highly recommend to check that out.
Yeah. I think I had a weird experience that most people won't have.
The only thing we disagreed on is the frame rate, which I didn't notice, and it bothered you so much.
This is something that I keep meaning to make a video on, because I keep mentioning it in my videos that, like, I have a really, really, like, strong opinion on frame rate. Like, I noticed that. It's a problem for me. Like, I'll have times where I watch something at 24 frames per second, and I can't look at the screen because it just makes me so sick. But anyways, it's very weird. That's a weird issue.
I know what you mean.
People probably won't have it.
I noticed that in one of your live streams that you are, like, very...
Yeah, in the blue reflection thing, I talked about it a lot.
Yeah,
anyways,
you notice frame rates. Yeah.
Inuyashiki, definitely keep an eye out for it and watch it. Just watch the first episode at least. It's great.
Check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Watch Juuni Taisen if you want a fun action series.
Yeah, just sit back and relax. It's a dumb fun.
Yeah. Kino's Journey, if it sounded interesting, check it out. If it didn't, then skip it.
I actually agree. Even though I don't like Kino's Journey because it's episodic, I think it's worth checking out.
Definitely. It's
that's
very unique.
Like a thing that bothers only me, I think.
The whale one, what the fuck is it called? The Children of the Whales. Check it out.
I think it's worth.
Yeah.
I think it's worth, like, checking it out, and if you like the aesthetic and what it's going for, then watch it. But if you don't like that, I think there's nothing here for you.
Yeah.
If you don't dig the aesthetic,
easily the strongest part about it. Absolutely watch Mahou Tsukai no Yome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like, you have no excuse.
It's my show of the season, for sure.
Yeah.
It's my show of the season.
Now,
I don't know how it will turn out, but I'm pretty confident this one is going to stay great.
I also think it's a show everyone can appreciate. Like, I can't imagine someone not liking the show.
I think this is even normies can watch this.
Exactly.
And appreciate
Oh yeah, it's definitely like a normie anime in a good way. Net-Juu no Susume. Absolutely watch. You might not like it as much as I do, but, like, I think there's a strong chance most people will really enjoy this one.
I agree. I liked it a lot too.
Yeah. Girls Last Tour. Again, check it out. If you don't like the aesthetic, don't keep watching. But it's
like I
unique.
said, it's like a show to unwind, and it's like a very chill, like calm show about these two cute girls. And if that doesn't sound interesting to you, then I don't think you should watch it.
It's like Girls Un Panzer, except dark and slow.
Yeah.
And only 2 girls. And I think that's it.
That's it for me.
Yeah, I'd say that's it. There weren't any.
This is a pretty strong season.
I would agree.
All things considered.
Yeah, like what I noticed in the past couple seasons of this year is that there have been 1 or 2 shows that have stood out, but a vast majority of everything else has been garbage.
Exactly. I tweeted even about this. I thought the previous season was one of the worst seasons like I watched in a while.
Yeah.
Made in Abyss was the only good show, and the leftovers from this previous season, like My Hero. Anyway.
Sure. Yeah, but this one's just strong. There's just a lot of interesting stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that like I would definitely say like if they're your aesthetic or if they're like your thing or they sound interesting, that I would still recommend like Anime-Gataris and stuff. Like that's not a bad show, and I think that's a show that like people could still enjoy. Or like Infini-T Force. Like if you like those 70s shonen kind of things, like definitely check that one out. Like stuff like that.
I completely agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for this episode of
We
Gassy
went for
Boys.
3 hours.
3 fucking hours. Oh my god. I believe it. That's crazy.
Anyway, this has been Gassy Boys episode 1. Stay tuned for the next one.
Stay gassy.